Welcome back to Are We the Only Ones? I'm Kathy.
Hi, I'm Ray.
And I have to apologize because I blew out my voice going on a cruise, which I'll update you on. Yeah, so like we can talk on the microphones today, like really like in them, like ASMR. Right? So I try not to echo in your microphone.
It's just your voice travels like the wind. There's nothing bad about
But
that.
now it won't. Now it'll be like this. I actually met some people in Australia that were like really, they had like 300,000 followers on YouTube and stuff. And they're like, Kathy, they're MCs at my cousin's wedding. They're like, Kathy, you have a ASMR voice. You should do that. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? And they're like, it's a thing. So now I'm like,
It's
okay.
a thing.
So now I'm like in that mode. But yeah, so I went on a cruise and I ended up, so it was the solo cruise. And I'm back, and I ended up having such a good time because I ended up meeting people. Because I hosted three slot pools on accident. There was a slot pool that was hosted by somebody else, and then we didn't know if they were gonna show up. So I was explaining like how slots work, and they were like, "Oh, could you just do it if they don't come?" I'm like, "Yeah, sure." So then they came, and then I helped them because they're in the ECV, so they couldn't just like easily mobily go stand next to the slot machine and like grab money into it. So I helped them. And then at the end, everybody was like, could you do one? Like, I know they came, but could you do one later?
Do you have to like
tonight?
yell when you're doing those though?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah, I'm kind of, because you also get very excited because we hit,
Oh yeah, I could see you getting excited.
the first one, we made money. We should have made 3 times our money, but we ended up playing it still, so then we about double. So that was fun. And they're like, can we do it again tomorrow? I was like, really? And they're like, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. So I just picked a time. And then we kept doing consecutively, like, every day until the cruise was over. But that ended up saving me money because I didn't gamble as much. Because it was like everybody...
You were busy doing an activity. You're helping conduct the activity.
Yeah, so you, like, pull your money together. Everybody paid $20. And then I had four spins. And it was $1 denom, $5 a spin. So everybody got 4 spins and we go around. And then we hit the jackpot. You get like bonus. You get so excited. Everybody's like screaming. You can't help it. You just sense it. And then the energy. There's like 23 of us. Like everybody comes. There was a point where we thought we might actually win the $100,000 jackpot. And I was like, oh no. I don't have my key in because somebody wanted to use it to try to get points. I was being too generous. I hadn't thought about the legality of this point. Like, you have to be, if you're hosting, you need to be in control of the jackpot so that you can disperse the money. If somebody else legally gets to,
Oh
you see what I'm
no, they could just take it and not divide it.
they could, yeah.
Oh shit.
So then I was like, oh, I need to take out the.
Get your
I was like,
fucking
get your
out of
key out.
there.
Let me get your key out. I'm putting it like, what? I was like, and I said, I just realized something. And in Vegas, if you put a key card in and you play a free play, and it's not yours, and you win a jackpot, they can void it out. Yeah.
That's fucked up.
So then I was like, wait, it's the wrong key card. Not the person that, in Vegas, it's the person who hits the button, not the key card necessarily. It's who hits the actual button. So if you go, hey, you seem like you're lucky, can you hit this button for me? And then they win, or you win.
Yeah.
They can argue, even though
That
it's your
they
money.
hit the button.
Yeah.
Even though it's your
It's
money that you put
technically
into the machine.
In Las Vegas, it's who hits the button, and it's important to know what the rules are. And when, like, we're in international waters, I was like, okay. At the end, I ran to the casino host and I said, hey, I just hosted a slot pool and I just realized I didn't know the rules. Can you tell me?
So.
And she goes, well, first of all, it's whose key is in there. And I was like, that's different than Vegas, so that matters. I was like, it's a good thing I took my key card out, or I took my key and put it in. I took theirs out, put mine in, so that I would control.
Yeah.
Right. It's also everybody had trusted me. Because I paid out the first time. Everybody trusted me to do it, so I don't want everybody getting mad at me.
Yeah.
Then relinquish control. We trusted you with the $20, you gave control.
To this other person who's not.
Yeah, and of course, the person's gonna say, I wasn't gonna take it. I go, I know, it's not that. It's not about you, whether or not I took the responsibility to host this thing, and I was like, hello, you should know better than, dude, that was like, don't do that. Don't be generous because you're trying to give people points. Because they're like, oh, I guess I don't need points. Like, I was like, yeah, I don't need the points because I was getting free ribs. And I go, wait a minute. if this ball is right, I'm like, oh my God, stop. I got 23 people I need to split this fucking jackpot between. I gotta make sure this jackpot gets split,
Yeah.
right? So
That's a lot of people.
that's a lot of drama, right? That could occur. I'm like, oh God, I can't do that. So, and it wasn't about that person. It was just about me. Like, dude, what are you doing?
And having to deal with the repercussions.
You're supposed to know better.
Yeah.
You're supposed to know better. Your husband's a lawyer. You're supposed to know better. What are you doing? You see what I'm saying? There's like all these other responsibilities. Like, dude, you should know what's going on. Like that. So that was like, whoa. But then I ended up having basically like 23 bodyguards throughout the ship that were looking out for me at any given time because now I made these good friends.
Yeah.
So I wasn't alone anymore. So what I ended up, the way I handled it was I was on, there's a Facebook group that ended up being created for every cruise. Every
How
cruise
did you
line.
find that?
They're always,
Or like you
from
have
Disney.
always known that?
For my first sailing, I found that
Oh,
out.
okay.
So then I always forget to join it until like right where I go, oh. And I go, oh yeah, I forgot this is there. And I join like, oh, I see all the activity.
Okay.
And then, so there'll be like generally like a duck exchange. People, they bring rubber duckies. I know this is like all a culture that people don't know about on cruise ships, but there's like full cruise ship culture where people bring rubber duckies on board and they hide them all over the ship. And they put their name down on like Instagram and hashtag whatever. And then they want whoever finds it to take a picture and like post it so that they know that the duck found home. And you can either keep it or hide it or whatever. But it's like a cruise ship thing.
Yeah.
So there's a duck meetup. And then there's like a shot glass, usually a meetup where people exchange shot glasses and that's what they need. And then there's a slot pole. So I'd never done this before with my family because I'm my family.
Yeah.
So there's no reason for me to meet up with my husband. So this was like, oh, this is great. So in the Facebook group, I noticed somebody said that they were sailing solo. So I was like, oh. I DM'd her. Hey, I'm sailing solo too. I'm not telling you that.
Yeah, why would she post
And she's
that
like,
on the whole
oh.
page?
She's like, oh, I should probably stop telling people that. I was like, yeah, for safety reasons, I'm not.
Why
Like,
would you put that?
your
Guess
choice, but-
what? Any killers, rapists, or evil people on the cruise ship? I am free game.
So I was like, red flag. So then I was like, okay, let's say that we are now not sailing solo. That we are sailing together,
Yes.
but we're in different rooms.
Yeah.
We have our own rooms. And then that way nobody thinks that we're just like, oh, there, and we have some safety there. She goes, that's a great idea. And I go, no pressure. We don't hang out. Like, we can see if we like each other, but like, don't feel like you have to hang out with me. Like, it's all good. Because I'm not on my first cruise. Like, it's not my first rodeo. I've done so many times. She's like, okay, cool. So then we met at the duck thing, but I didn't bring any ducks because I never bring ducks. And she's like, dude, I'm like, oh, I forgot to bring ducks. I'm like, well, I just want to say, great to meet you. Exchange room numbers. I'm like, this is my cabin number. Even though I wasn't supposed to say it. Okay, so I have to confess, I broke every single rule you guys gave me. I let multiple people come into my cabin of different genders. But it was never one-on-one with a guy. It was like, but people, I got to know them well enough to know, like, okay, I'm safe. Everybody was safe. They were all, now we're lifelong friends. I coined us the Slot Pole Mafia. So we're like, Slot Pole Mafia. Like, it was so funny. I'm like, what's up? Oh my God. There's this moment, so intense. Okay, so there's this thing that happens when you're in port and you're about to leave.
Mm-hmm.
And people like to watch for pier runners. People are like, I'm late. Because when the ship takes off,
Yeah,
you have to transport
you're
yourself,
either on the ship or you're not on the ship.
yeah, once the ramp is up, it's just like, you're fucked. So like, I see people fall to their knees. No, my kids are on board, stuff like that. I was like, why should you put your kids on board and leave? Anyway, and then I'll come back. So there's this lady with a stroller, toddler, and then two other young kids, and they're running for their life trying to make it onto the ship.
No.
And I actually recorded on my phone, but I was literally like, you made it, congratulations, you made it, is my audio when you hear me. I'm like, you better tip Carnival really well. They held the ship because we were already late at that point. Like, it was all aboard was 4:30 that day.
Yeah.
All aboard means like everybody needs to be on the ship at 4:30 because we're leaving. So if they leave past that, they have to pay a fine.
Oh,
That's why they have to leave.
shit.
So I was like, oh shit, like, I don't know if they charge you, I don't know what. So they get on board. All of a sudden, all my crew, there's like a few,
Wait,
not
what
every.
time did they get on board? If all aboard was 4:30.
They came on like 4:45. Yeah, no, they were
Oh,
really
so
late.
it wasn't even like just a couple minutes.
Oh no, they were very late. They were very late. So I was like, oh shit. So then I turn, and there's this woman sobbing. And I realize, oh my God, that's their family member. She goes, that's my daughter and my grandbabies. And I go, oh my God, she's like sobbing. And I grab her, I embrace her, and I grab her. And I go, I'm so sorry, we're just fucking around. We're just fucking around with the pyramid. I'm so sorry.
So you guys,
I'm so sorry. She's like,
you guys are talking mad shit about this lady.
I was like, not about her. She was on board. She held the ship.
Not the lady, but her daughter.
She held the ship. She was the reason the ship stayed for her, because she was like pleading. She was like, I saw a fraudulent charge come up on my alert on my phone. She thought they were dead, because Mexico. And this is the thing. I was like, so because I made a group of friends, we actually went off the ship together to Ensenada. They had never been there, so I took them because I'd been there so many times. I'm like, follow me, we'll go together. So we went together in a crew of like
another
5 people. I know, another rule broken. I know. Your face, you're like, God, no wonder Eric gets so much. Yeah. He was just like, but I was safe. Nothing. I mean, I was really safe.
I mean, you're here.
Yeah. No, I can tell you right now. I'm like totally made. These are friends for life. Like, we want to go on every year now together. There's like a plan. So it's so funny though. Met so many cool people. And so, I started sobbing, and I felt so bad. I said, I'm really sorry that we were laughing, but we're just fucking around. And I'm a mom, so I totally understand how frustrated you are. These goddamn fucking kids that won't listen to us when we were. I know you told her to get on board. I know you did, because you're on board. I know that you did not want those grandkids to be running like that. And I know you knew that this is not cool. Like, do you know this about your daughter? She has terrible time management. I'm like, she goes, my legs were tired. I had to come back on board. I told her, get back on board soon. We got to go. Make sure on board. It was like hours before, okay? She goes, I know. I got to go. I'm going to go shopping, and then I'll come on board. She didn't have enough money. I guess that's what happened. They tried to charge your card. They're like, you got custom stuff. You got to pay for this. She's like, just take, like, and so she's being held up by the shop owner, apparently.
Oh, shit.
And it's not and so the thing is, when we were out in town, there was like 9 police vehicles, and over there it's like also like military style vehicles. Mm-hmm. I'm like, what's going on? Because some people I was with wanted to go to a store, so then we asked the store, and they're like, what's going on? Oh, they're patrolling for the cartels, because the cartels will like kidnap people, like ask us to pay money for protection, and if we don't pay them, they might beat us up.
The mafia, yeah.
So we were just like acting all like, and so the police right now are coming through to scare the cartel so they don't come around the neighborhood, so everybody's safe. So then I go, the cartels were around, so they had patrols for the cartels. Like, that's how dangerous it is. Like, your kids are freaking cute. Those grandkids are cute. Like, you need to tell her never again. And if you're gonna do an excursion, if you're leaving the ship, you can be on a cruise excursion so that they make sure you get back and that they don't leave without her. Because if you're on an excursion for the cruise line, they can't leave without you.
Yeah.
That's the thing. That's like the benefit of,
it's like
going through the cruise ship.
Through the cruise line.
Yeah, it's just an agreement. That's the benefit. That's the perk. They're like, if you're on our cruise excursion and we're late for some reason, the ship won't leave without you. But if you're on a third party excursion and you have traffic and then you're late,
yeah,
you can travel with insurance. You gotta fly to the next port, or you're done. Your cruise done. Whatever, you gotta figure it out. But that's it. That's the situation. So I was like, oh my God. And then we come back from the cruise, and on Facebook I'm like posting. I don't post that. I just post, like, other people posted a picture. I met another lady who's like a dynamo, and she's more energy than me, and she posted a picture of me with her on the way out that I'd say goodbye to her. So this lady, the mom, the grandmother, who I'd sobbed with, goes, "Are you the lady that hugged me?"
She probably couldn't see through all the tears.
Are you the one that hugged me that day when my granddaughter, my grandbabies? I said, yes, that was me. I'm so glad that they made it on board. And I hope you never have to go through that again. She's like, just nothing weird, but can I DM you so we can maybe cruise together if you want to cruise solo? Cruise together. I was like, sure. Feel free to DM me.
Aww.
I was like, but it was one of those things where I felt as a mom, I was like, motherfucking kids, you know?
Yeah.
Why you gotta do that to your mama?
Damn. And then her daughter got held up at the shop, and then she couldn't leave.
No. And she had her kids with her. 3 kids.
Oh shit. Well, why did she get all that stuff? She didn't have money for it.
Dude, you know, sometimes you have certain people that just don't manage their time. They just don't manage
their money.
They just don't manage stuff. They just don't manage stuff, and that's what goes down sometimes.
Well, how old is this person?
I mean,
she's old enough to have
3 kids.
Yeah, 3 kids.
But they were like running with the stroller. The babies are running. My crew was smoking cigarettes because the smoking deck smoking cigarettes, and there's a bar behind us, so they're just like, you know. And then you're like, oh.
And then you see the grandma like, no,
I was
wait.
I'm so like, I just want you to know, that this is all in good. Like now, it's different.
Now you're gonna feel different.
No. Now that I like understand, like, oh my God, like, I know exactly how you would feel, and I'm so sorry. And I just started freaking bawling. Like, I was like, hey, my babies. Because I was like, you know your kids too.
Yeah.
I was like, God. I could totally picture one of my kids. I was like, God damn it. I was like, I could see that happening to me in like 20 years.
Yeah.
Like, these dang kids. You know what I mean? I could totally see that happening. You knew better. I know, Mom, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. He's just like, that doesn't do anything in this moment, but I have to accept it.
Yeah.
I told you so many times. That's the hard thing about being a parent.
So you survived the solo cruise.
Oh, I thrived. I ran that ship. I'm sorry, I ran the ship. I blew my vocal cords out because I sang karaoke, which I've never done on a cruise ship. I picked the worst song possible.
Yeah.
ASMR. I want to dance with somebody. Whitney Houston. Worst choice. I blew out my vocal cords. I don't know if they'll ever repair.
Because you went that hard.
I went hard.
Were you drinking as well?
Yes.
Because sometimes when you do that, it just comes out.
Well, I also have, when I was younger, I got offered a record deal.
Yeah.
So I have just like when I was in gymnastics, I used to be able to do back handsprings on the balance beam. Connected, 2 of them. Connected. I went back like a year later, thought I could do a back handspring and balance beam, almost freaking kill myself. This is like that, I think.
You're like,
I used to be able to sing.
And now you're like,
and I'm like, I just almost blew out my vocal cords. I blew out my vocal cords. I didn't sing from my diaphragm, which is weird, but you're just singing from down here. If you were singing
from
chorus,
your chest.
I was singing from my throat, which blew it out. I didn't take a deep enough breath and go from here, because sometimes you've heard me, when I have to yell for my kids at like the school, when I thought my kid was going to get run over by a car because he was running the street. And that's how I'm known at that school. Everybody goes, they know my name because they know I see you. And so that I pulled from the diaphragm, boom, like yelling.
Yeah.
But this was, and I felt it. I go, oh no. And then I had to host 2 more slot tournaments. So that was not great. 3 more slot tournaments after that.
So then you were like really pushing it.
Yeah.
After that.
Yeah.
Damn. Well, I'm glad you had a good time.
Oh my God, it's such a good time.
I know. Now this weekend, both of our weekends are pretty busy, but yours is not as.
Oh no, I'm going to a memorial service.
Exciting.
No, mine is This Is Your Life. You're going on a romantic getaway this weekend to Napa Valley.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going on a This Is Your Life day weekend where I go back home. I'm going to a memorial service for the woman whose house where our wedding, my husband and I had our wedding reception.
Mm-hmm.
It's that woman's house. So she passed away. She came to my mom's funeral and went with us to Chef Chu's restaurant, which is it's kind of funny. My parents really didn't eat there, but there's something because like John Chu had just directed Crazy Rich Asians, and he was he's the youngest of that family of that like restaurant dynasty. And so John Chu had gone and met my mom, like saw her before she left Los Altos, so I felt like I should go there. But so this woman went there, and she is like one of the greatest, in my memory, one of the greatest like hostesses. We used to do like family game nights at her house. A lot of like gift wrapping I learned from her, calligraphy, giving gifts, giving thank you. I was terrible at giving thank you cards, but like if I do a thank you, it's like I think of her. She was the one that like did those things. And like the way she hosted and how sweet she was and thoughtful she was and stuff like that. Like sometimes I try to do that, but sometimes I can't deliver because maybe I'm not in the right financial place to be able to deliver what people expect from me, or I don't have the pull that people think I have in that particular field or that particular thing. I've had that happen where people like assume I can like get them a job in fashion. Like I can't. I am outside the system. Like I don't work in.
You're not in the
I make my
system
own
currently,
clothing, and it's
Yeah.
like I don't have connections like that in that particular way at that moment, right? I mean, maybe now I would, but at the time. So there's like moments where I like, this woman never let anybody down. That's what I realized about, like, some people never let anybody down, and sometimes like you strive to be somebody who doesn't let people down, but sometimes you let people down, and you have to just like, all right,
But
I
you
wish
tried.
but you tried,
Yeah.
and you gotta like reconcile that with yourself, or whatever. But it's then after that memorial service, that evening, I have my 30-year high school reunion.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, the last one was fun. 20 year was fun. I didn't go to my 10-year because I lived in Japan. So.
I don't know if my high school's done any kind of reunions, but I think that's like the big difference between Gen X and millennials. It's because now I feel like we don't feel the need to have high school reunions because we're all connected on social media.
That's a very good point. So I went to private school. I have low-key think it's a fundraiser, too. So, like,
probably.
You know what I mean? So it's a grand reunion. It used to be just our class.
Yeah.
But then it became, the 10-year reunion, I believe, was just our class. And, like, your class planned it the old school way. Like, you had designated people to plan. And they held it, I think, at the Fairmont Hotel. I was like, I don't remember. I didn't go. I was in Japan. I was like, I'm not flying. It didn't make sense for me to fly back from Japan for my 10-year reunion.
Yeah.
So then my 20-year reunion, we were around. So I was like, all right, cool, I'll go. And it was actually nice to see everybody, and it was all good vibes.
Yeah.
That I could tell. Were there moments that I thought, like, I caught a little petty moment? I'm like, yes, that was hilarious. That totally happened. That was hilarious.
Like, huh.
But there was also, like, you know, overall, good vibes.
Okay.
So then I'm looking forward to this one, but it's just like after the heels, I'm gonna have a very like emotional morning.
Yeah.
I realize it's gonna be just a lot, and then it's like my entire life is in that town, is in Los Altos. So like, and I'll go see my mom's old salon, probably go see the ladies that took over, that used to work there, took over, and then see the bench, the memorial bench, do the photo on the bench, just probably see some of my high school friends. It's just a lot. There's like a lot going on. We're driving up, driving back, so that kills six hours in each end. Oh my god. Yep, 6 hours. Well, you're longer.
We're a little bit longer.
But you'll still be 8, I think.
What we're doing is we're leaving at like 7 a.m. and then we're gonna stop at Carmel by the sea.
Good choice.
Around lunchtime.
Are you gonna put your feet in the sand? Because it's like cotton.
Oh.
Carmel is famous for their beach where you put your feet in the sand and it literally feels like softest. It's weird. You don't feel anywhere. And it's like, is this cotton? But it's sand.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna explore for a couple of hours, so I'll tell my husband we have to put our toes in the sand.
Yeah, that's the thing.
And then we're gonna head up to Napa.
Oh, so
Or Sonoma.
Oh, well, both.
Yeah. Well, we're staying in Sonoma through the weekend, but we have a driver that's taking us up through Napa Valley on Saturday and doing our little wine tasting. Yep. No drinking and driving, guys.
Good job. Proud of you. Responsible.
Yep.
Love it.
It's expensive to be responsible.
Is it?
Yeah. That part's fucked up.
I know.
Oh, yeah. Do you like my new shirt? I ordered it off that website we were talking about. Gulf of Mexico. Stay salty, resist often. But the thing is, it feels like, feel it? It's like cricketed on almost is what it feels like.
See, I have a cricket. We should just make crickets.
And that like it it's like one of those things that like if you dry it and the dryer gets too hot, it like sticks together and then it just peels.
So I bought a couple of shirts like that, and then it made me annoyed when I got them like that. And I was like, wait, I paid like a good amount of money for this shirt, so
right?
Like, that's not.
So I'm like the cute design, but I don't like that. And I always.
So this is actually screen printed.
Yeah.
This is. I used to draw Shira, like every day, no shit, 350 times, like or more a day. Her, Cinderella, Little Mermaid, Belle. Yeah. I just
do them all the time.
All the time. So it helped when I did fashion sketching. It was easy.
Yeah.
To like do stuff. But it's so funny. I was like, I know this headpiece. I know how to draw this headpiece so well. It's like so crazy. So
it's like muscle memory.
Yeah. It's just crazy. And this like the bodice, the way it's like side boobish. But then you cover it with a little Princess of Power.
Oh my goodness, do we want to get down to the nitty gritty then? There's so much to talk about. We've got the birthday book. We've got
Oh.
Supreme Court rulings. We've got
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. Okay.
so
All right.
much.
Okay, so I actually
Terrible
downloaded
news.
the birthday book off of the Congressional House Oversight Committee website, and I sent you the link.
Mm-hmm.
And then I decided, you know what? I'm gonna put it on the Google Drive, and I'm gonna share it. So I posted it on my personal Facebook, so
Yeah.
all my followers can actually like check it. But then I decided I have a screen record app on my phone, and I downloaded the PDF. And I started the screen record, and I just started scrolling. So now anybody who goes on our Facebook, are we the only ones?
They'll
Facebook,
see it. Right there.
there's 2 posts because I got like, what is that Alan Dershowitz's letter? And I like stopped it, I screenshot it, and it turned off the app. So then I was like, oh, and I found it, and I started again. And I was like, oh my god,
I know.
did he really do that? Did he really like?
I haven't looked through the book. I haven't looked through the book because part of me, as a victim of sexual assault as a child for many years,
You have to prepare yourself.
even the image that's going around online with him handing out balloons with like the girls with
Cartoon
pigtail,
drawing?
yeah,
I think it's crazy. I was like, ugh. But it's at least it's clear.
oh yes,
You know, you need the evidence
it's
to be
like
clear.
sickening. And so I'm like,
yeah,
if
so-
that's like what people are finding like okay to share, I don't even want to know, like I don't even want to read the stuff that's written in the birthday book yet. It's something that I'm gonna have to make the mental space for, because I know it's probably gonna
It's like 238 pages too, so it was a lot.
make me cry and also maybe possibly throw up and curl up into a ball.
This is the thing. It's like this is the hard work, right? Like there's trigger warning, but there's like sometimes you need to power through the fire because you're trying to bring awareness on a higher level, because the fact that they like are trying to discredit that, this is so odd. There's so much evidence. It's ridiculous. Like you can't discredit like girls. There are now women. There's so many of them. Plus, we also like it's a bigger network of something larger. It's a bigger question about what should be allowed in like espionage. Like, are there boundaries that we have? I mean, Geneva Convention. You know, there's all these things. Like, I learned so many things about what we have done as an American government that didn't support the ICC. Like all these things where you would have like the International Criminal Court. You know, like they're trying to do stuff with Netanyahu, and then we're not really supporting that. So I knew, but to see them actually leverage every single thing that they could do in the worst way at the same time, I didn't think anybody would want to be such a psychopathic leader that they'd actually want to do all this at once.
Yeah.
I was like, dang, you hate the world. Like, my God. Do you know what I mean? It's like so much malice.
Yeah.
There's so much malice in his intent.
And yeah, he's so vengeful.
But why? He's had such a privileged life. Unless, other than just like maybe,
Because he's an idiot.
I mean, men are very much like motivated. Not all, because obviously like our husbands are not. So I have to be like, yeah, that's true. But there is a general motivation for men in the patriarchy that is about women, and that if women don't treat you the way that you want them to, there's this like Hugh Hefner. The reason Hugh Hefner became Hugh Hefner, that we know him to be, is because he was a virgin, and then the woman that he proposed to, that he loved, cheated on him. And then after that, he decided he would never let that happen again. And then he became Mr. Playboy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's a psychological impact that like trauma. That is a type of, clearly he was traumatized, and that's what happened. And it ignites the motivation, like the hero's journey or the villain backstory. I don't know what you want to call it. In their mind, it's their hero's journey, right? In society, when we see how they leveraged all their power, we're kind of like, they looked at themselves like a victim when they're trying to take by victimizing other people under the guise of something glamorous.
They're like, I'm going to treat women like this because a woman treated me so poorly.
Yeah, and they think because they have a glamorous facade that it's okay because it's like glamorized in film. Do you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like how it used to be kind of like glamorized to be sort of cool, to be like a dickhead. Like on that movie Wall Street, where like Michael Douglas like shoves money into this guy's mouth. I remember being a kid and watching that, and it was not portrayed at the time. The communication that you're getting through the screen is not, this is rude. It was communicated like,
look at how cool he is.
It was communicated even as a child going, this is what you emulate to be one day, is to have this kind of power. Whether you choose to actually shove a freaking like crumpled like bill in somebody's mouth. But then when Scott Disick did on Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I think it was, to a server in Las Vegas, that was real, right? I remember going, oh no, that doesn't read the way that you think it reads. This dude thinks it reads like Wall Street, and it reads.
Well, also Scott Disick is just like.
Well, no, just human. Society is progressing a way where that is fucked up.
Yeah.
That is like just beyond fucked up. Like you cannot.
It's disgusting.
Like what the fuck's wrong with you? So, that there's like that kind of instance where I feel like now I honestly feel like Donald Trump and all this is the tail end of that era. Where thinking like that was so cool. Like you really wanted to be like that.
Are we still hoping for the extinction burst?
It's not going to be like gone. I mean, let's be realistic.
Is it still like this before? Is it still going to be bursting? Do you feel like the extinction burst is still growing and then it's just going to... I mean, we're seeing in like more local elections, state level elections, the Democrats are performing way better than they did during the presidential election. So
James Talarico just announced he's running for Senate, U.S. Senate. The one that we like,
Texas.
Yeah, the one that's like really good at. He explained.
Is he running against Ted
like
Cruz?
the Bible to Joe Rogan and the abortion and all that and consent?
Yeah.
Yes, I think it would be Ted Cruz's seat.
Okay.
It would have to be. Yeah, it would have to be.
Like, is he the one that's up
well, there's 2 seats.
Yeah.
So I would hope he would try to run and take Ted Cruz's seat.
Yeah, but yeah. So I always go back and forth. So this is the problem with my brain and because I overthink everything.
Okay.
And you know this about me on small scales and grand scales.
Okay.
But I'm like, what if we were just hoping this extinction burst thing was going to happen, but really it's not an extinction burst, and it's just building momentum, and it's,
no, I don't think it's
there's not going to be.
I don't think it's because we're the bad guys right now in the world. Do you not know that?
I mean, I know that the U.S. we are the bad guys, but also we literally have no checks and balance on a federal level.
No, but like on a trade level right now, like, dude, the dollar's plummeting. Yeah. The non-farm payroll. Okay, so I used to be, because my dad used to be a currency trader, like such a good one, so proficient that he built like a trading robot that he sold to Forex, which is foreign exchange. Mm-hmm. It's a huge business, like firm.
Yeah.
It was located in the actually Trump building on Wall Street. And so I used to trade too. And non-farm payroll is the first Friday of the month, and that is like the most important jobs number day for currency trade in the market in general. So for me, it was very important because I could hedge that, which would mean I could bet on both sides because the numbers would go like this. It would go like this. It was like immediate. So that was the most important day for me to watch. So I know what the number's supposed to be, and it's usually like 375,000 jobs have been added every month.
Oh yeah, our jobs are.
It was like 15,000, and I was like, oh my god!
And this is after.
Do you know how bad that is?
The one from August, right? This is the first report with his newly appointed one. And it's still bad.
If this is not even like, this is like a self-inflicted situation. Do you understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It's not a pandemic. We're not in the middle of like a freaking like, Black Monday or whatever it was, like Great Depression. We were in a thriving economy when Biden was finishing his term. And then all of a sudden, we have self-inflicted tariffs. And actually, the tariffs are illegal, I believe, and now they might have to cut a check for like legit like $1 trillion, which I don't know.
Who's paying for that?
No, I think it's the tariffs are illegal, so then it's like, but what that does is disrupts a lot of shit. It's just a lot of crazy shit happens. So,
is that on the federal level? Or do you okay.
Yeah. So then you have all these other things going on, like the Supreme Court, that they're just like. Amy Coney Barrett did an interview recently, and she was like, "Well, now the Roe v. Wade's been overturned. You know, she's like not really worried. She's like, he's not going to need a third term. He's not going to go for a third term. It's not possible. and like that she wouldn't support it because Roe v. Wade is overturned, so she doesn't need him to have a third term to overturn it. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Didn't she also say in that
Like
same
that was like the
interview
vibe I was getting.
that the opinions of their personal opinions or their personal values of the Supreme Court should not be affecting the American people?
Well, I mean, theoretically. See, there was something I had watched recently. There's CNN has a new show with Roy Wood Jr.
Yeah.
And it's actually very good. And there was one guy, I should know his name, but he was like, they were talking about Gavin Newsom and how he's mocking and mirroring Trump and how MAGA's like, that's really immature. And they're like, yes, it is. That's the point. We're trying to show you, like, this is immature. Like,
this is
so
what
then,
your man looks like.
One of the guys on the panel is a comedian, was like, I just don't think it's like we should be doing that. Like, we should be playing at their level, right? And another comedian who was just like, really, this guy he was like Kids in the Hall. He was the voice of the Flick in Bug's Life. He's a famous comedian. He goes, oh, look how cute you are, thinking we were in like archaic, like integral times, like that we're in that same. That's so cute that you still think like we're in that place.
Yeah, when they go low, we go high.
Like we're not in that place.
We're not there anymore.
No, we're in the if we keep acting like that, we're gonna completely relinquish and lose all control of any guardrail at all. Period. It's gonna be gone.
We have to meet them where they're at.
We are literally like fighting for democracy right now. As somebody who like comes from a country where that was literally the mantra, we're fighting for democracy by bombing Vietnam. I'm telling you right now, if you don't stand right now to fight for crazy, this is like straight up fascism, it's very obvious. It's a pedophile. Like that picture that he drew that his signature is on, I assumed that, let's put it this way. It's pretty easy to draw big boobs, right? Is it? Those are not big boobs. Those are pubescent child boobs on that drawing. Those are not, like, it's so easy to draw boobs. So I'm like, Jimmy Kimmel said it's a signed confession. I was like, it totally, I promise. I was like, I said, that is a prepubescent body. Big boobs are easy to draw. The fact that he didn't draw big boobs when he's obviously such a vulgar person, of course he should. The fact that he chose to draw that is a signed confession for sure.
For sure.
And that is why he could not let that thing out, because he knew even the Wall Street Journal, when they printed the description of it, right? And then an artist rendering was like Trump's letterhead, and then like a female beautiful figure that was like artistic, and then the signature where they had said it was going to be, right, in the crotch area, right?
The crotch. The pubes.
And then you're thinking, okay, like, yeah, a woman's body, that's still like vulgar, but when you realize that he drew clearly
not a woman's body,
dude,
a girl's body.
They're like, those are the flattest, smallest up. It's like these little, like, it's that obviously if you're drawing big, I mean, you're gonna draw. You know, I was like, that's crazy.
I know.
And I was like, dude, that is a confession.
I want to talk about how with this Jeffrey Epstein, the video footage stuff. You remember how Pam Bondi a while ago was saying, well, it cuts off before the last minute and restarts, blah, 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 blah. I don't know if we published that episode. Yeah. I don't know if we published that episode, but I was like, if it constantly does that, I was talking about, like, there's no critical thinking that's happening, because people are just absorbing what she's saying, like, oh yeah, okay. And she was saying, okay, well, if it restarts every minute, we're going to find evidence and other video footage where it's restarting every minute. And it's like, well, if that's the case, then you should be able to pull up last night's video footage at 11:59 or 11:58 and it would restart automatically. If it does that every time, like you're saying it does.
So I heard an update that they had seen the video footage they found that was missing. They found it. There's like two or three officers standing outside.
Yeah, walking to his cell.
Doing something very weird.
It was, yeah. And then so it's just like,
because there was a former mob guy that was in that exact cell, and he was like, "There's no way you can hang yourself because it's a flat ceiling."
Yeah, I saw that interview with him.
I was like, "Oh yeah, that's legit."
And he's like, the bedpost is like down here, so you can't even like put anything on the bedpost. He was like, you couldn't hang yourself. But then I felt like she tried to lie and gaslight us, saying that the video footage was not there because of the software. And
I mean, look, she was the AG
and I feel
for Florida when it happened. She's like totally invested in hiding it because she is in on it. Like, she already knew what was in there because she saw it as the AG of Florida.
Well, they found it, and I feel like that
And this is tokenism. This is tokenism. Having a woman fight on behalf of these pedophiles is so tokenism. It's like not even funny.
I know.
It's like, wow. You know?
We're like, well, a woman is saying it, so obviously she wants to protect other women and da-da-da-da-da, so we're just going to put her up front.
And this is the thing, like, she has been in Florida. There's like it's a weird power structure in Florida. Yeah. Clearly. I mean, the fact that DeSantis, like, basically went head to head with Disney and, like, put up a good fucking fight with Disney. And I was like, damn, like, you know, Disney's a pretty, how do you hate Disney? That's why I was like, damn, like, they were able to spin it to make that situation go the way that it did. That it did. You know what I mean? I was like, that's so weird to me. And so that place runs in a different way. And so I don't put it past her to feel like she's very special, that she's risen up in the ranks in this crazy place. Yeah. And that she's perceived differently, and she's like an outlier in like the best way, that she's like a boss bitch baddie. Yeah. In this group of people, and she wants to hold on to that space, and she likes it.
So surprised that 1 minute of footage was blown over so quickly. Like, once it was released, I felt like people would have been like, oh shit, something did happen. Obviously we see, but I felt like I saw just a quick blip of it, and then it was gone. And then Mike Johnson was saying that Trump was a FBI informant.
Well, I think that there's some truth into that, because I had seen something about like that he was the one that called them and snitched on him, because there's a real estate deal that they had. Epstein had bought this like really beautiful mansion, and then brought Trump to see it, to be like, look, I'm gonna do this here, I'm gonna do that there, and then was like, oh, how much did you pay for it? Oh, cool, right? Then he ends up calling the owner, the broker, whoever, and then offering more, and then takes the house underneath him, and then ends up selling it a year later to like a Russian oligarch, who then flips it and sells it for like 3 times more later. So then it's a money laundering, because Epstein was like, wait, Trump doesn't have, like, I know his finances. He's like, he doesn't have that money to buy that house. So he's like, who did he get that money? And so the person that he loaned, who got probably like gave him money, is the guy who sold it to. When he was like, oh, it's this guy. And then later he's actually sold to that guy. And then that guy flipped it for 3 times more. So we're talking like Trump got $40 million. We're talking like this house is like from like, it was like from like 10 million to went to like 45 million, like 70, like these are large numbers. So you're washing a lot of cash, lot of cash. And it makes sense. Like, hey, I got the in on a way to like, you know, and why he would be
mad.
Well, then so then Jeffrey Epstein gets mad. Trump calls the FBI and snitches on him, and then starts the investigation, and that's how their friendship ends. So the FBI informant thing is not, I don't think is incorrect. I just think all these other like theories about it, no, that's not what it is. That's not what it is. He snitched on him. He snitched on him. That's what happened. He snitched on him to like,
FBI informant. It's just
he just snitched on him.
Yeah.
And he probably doesn't want the mafia in his life to know that he snitched, because that's like the one thing you're not, like, you understand? Like, if you're a snitch, that breaks down every single thing that they had. That's the only thing that holds that organization together. Yeah. Is that loyalty part. So if he does that, they're like, oh shit, he'll snitch on anybody. So then they can't feel trusted. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of moving parts.
Yeah, it's just so disgusting. But I was so surprised that came and went in the blink of an eye.
I don't think it came and went in a blink of an eye. It's just folded into all of this other, there's so much. And then they're trying to like distract us by doing all this other crazy stuff.
So much crazy bullshit.
And then like she's on work release, and they're like, where is she?
What is she doing? What work could she possibly be doing?
Well, also I want to make a point that Jeffrey Epstein assaulted more girls. He raped more girls while he was on work release. So the work release thing for her is crazy, knowing all that too. That it's not normal, that you're not supposed to have work release when you're a child sex offender at all. You're not supposed to be in a minimum at all, even if you weren't convicted. If you're even like alleged to that level, you're not supposed to be in minimum at all. And then the fact that she can go out and work release knowing that he had actually assaulted people and raped people while he was at work is like such a level of clear guilt on the White House's part. Because any other normal situation, this is a slam dunk. You put them away,
and you're like,
you lock them up. You be hailed as a hero. Mm-hmm. Like, how do you choose not to be hailed as a hero? This is the easiest become a hero you can be decision, and you can't even get that right. Why? Because you are implicated in there, like, on a level that's so freaking gross, like, it can't even be. And I heard there was, like, I know there's got to be a video, and KGB has got to have video of him.
Oh, yeah.
Doing some crazy
well, we'll see
stuff.
all the stuff with Poland, because he just tweeted earlier, like, what's wrong with Russia flying drones in Poland airspace? Here we go, or something like that.
Well, Israel just bombed Qatar. And I was like, they just gave you a $400 million plane, and you bombed. You allowed them to bomb. Well, you allowed your ally who
they
you
have video footage of him probably doing something, and he's like, I gotta step back and let them do what they gotta do.
This is the craziest, like,
or my house of cards is gonna fall.
Like, all we can do is try to stand up. We just cannot be quiet. I mean, we've been talking about it for a long time, I feel like. And we have a, you know, small following because we're new. But everything we've said has been very important in the scheme of the entire thing. So it's like we're like this canary in a coal mine, which I like. Yeah. We sort of like are ahead of the curve of like the mainstream. When they like their analysis takes a little bit longer than ours. Probably because we know what's up. Because we know like the way it feels from the victim side and how you recover and like the thought of them and like all these women I go through. And then also like how easy the men can get away with it even after they have. Like, let's be real. Even if he gets convicted, it's just like Diddy. Like, do I think that what is, do you see what I'm saying? Like, what?
Yeah.
I just don't want him, he can't be president. That would be, this is impeachment, like this is the thing. But does he even go to jail or does he get like some kind of weird immunity?
Where he can just keep being a pedophile.
Does he escape? Does he go to Russia and go like Eric Snowden and just like hide in Russia? Does he build a hotel at an airport and claim and claim what was that guy that was at the airport that was like living there for like 20 years like that?
That Tom Hanks movie?
Yeah, like that's a real dude.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
So like, but then let's say he builds an airport hotel. And he's like, I'm just gonna stay in my airport hotel. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, money. I mean, this is the craziest thing. We're in the James Bond evil villain era, right? Are these not like
of the American government, the U.S. government?
Is he not the Lex Luthor with a toupee or a comb over?
I don't know. Was Lex Luthor a pedophile? I don't even
oh my
think
God, you're saying Lex Luthor, it was better. Love it. That's a great one. That's good. That's a good point.
You know?
Even Lex Luthor wasn't a pedophile.
So, even he
Brosives.
wasn't.
Brosives.
So.
That is such a good point, though. That's like, yeah.
Yeah. So it's been, I don't know. I was telling Kathy earlier when I got here, I've had awful insomnia because of the current news lately. Like, the Supreme Court ruling has had me reeling because I haven't been carrying my passport around. And where I live is like predominantly Hispanics and Asians. And the guy that died on the freeway in Monrovia from the Home Depot sweep, that is like literally 5 minutes from my house. And where my son has soccer practice, there have been ICE sweeps. Yeah.
Oh no.
So I decided that because I am slightly brown, a little caramelly, that I should be carrying my passport around just in case they stop and ask me. But
yeah, I've been doing that.
It's like
for months now. I don't even know how long I've been doing it for now. I think the second that it all went down, the second that there was a peep, I started carrying my passport.
But somebody was saying, I saw somebody say that if they take you, they'll just confiscate your stuff.
So I still want to have it on me. So I'm not going to have it on me? That's not smart. Oh my God. I went into the casino the other day and there was a girl who came with her family and she did not bring her ID. And all she had was a photocopy or some shit. Her freaking family went off on her. And it wasn't just because it's a casino, how do you not have it?
Yeah.
It was like, yo, you're Mexican. Are you crazy? Are you fucking crazy? Yeah. Like, you don't have ID on you? ICE could come get you. And they were just going off. I'm sorry. And I was like, this is a whole. This is a
not
whole.
Even your ID. It's you need your passport because they're telling people that with real IDs that their real IDs are fake and they're taking them.
I know. I agree with that. That's why I have a passport because everybody recognizes a passport. I have a global entry card. I have my freaking passport card. This is, for me, the American privilege of like, I shouldn't have to do that. That's great. Great for you. I love that for you.
We don't have that.
I love that for you. I love that for you that you were able to not carry a passport. I love that for you.
Mm-hmm.
This whole time, I love it for you. That time is over. So I've known that time is over, which is why I carry 4 forms of ID.
Well, I was really hoping
at
the
all
Supreme
times.
Court would.
But the reason I do it is not just because I'm paranoid. It's because I don't want the inconvenience of any question. If I go, I have this ID, I have this ID, I have this ID, I have this, I have all this. This is me. This is definitely me, and I'm definitely. And they're like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
That is much different. Like, I have one ID. What ID? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even believe that ID. I have this one. You know, like, that's a lot. Plus, luckily, I have my husband. Like, I'm aware, you know, that, like, having a lawyer as a husband who's at a major firm also was very helpful. He was concerned. That's why also the solo. He was like, dude, don't do anything. Like, don't mess around. Don't do anything. I was like, no. That's why, you know, even leaving the ship was like, dude, I was like, I'm carrying everything. You don't need your passport. Like, I'm taking everything with me.
Yeah.
I don't leave with just my freaking key card and California ID. Not across the border.
I'm flying back to Ohio next month for a wedding, and I told my husband, because the timing of my flight was really inconvenient. I was like, I'll just take the metro, and to Union Station, and then take the flyway bus, and you know that whole thing. He was like, I literally don't want you to do that, because what if ICE is going to sweep the Union Station?
Yeah.
Because they're going on buses. They're going, like...
It's just the inconvenience. Like, let's say you have no problem, but they detain you for an hour and they let you go. You're going to be late.
Yeah, and then I missed my flight. And he's just like...
It's not worth the hassle.
He's like... But the thing is like... I post this on my Instagram. It's like, land of the free for thee, but not for me. Like, why is it that I can't just fucking take the metro to the fucking airport? And my husband has to think about that. And my husband has to think about possibly getting stopped. And I have to always, have to fucking make sure that I can prove that I'm a citizen. Even though I thought in the Constitution it says if you're a citizen, you don't have to provide support or evidence that you're a citizen. Unless you're getting pulled over by for a traffic stop or something like that, or you're crossing the border, or you're within 100 miles of a border. You have to prove that if there's like a border patrol or whatever. So it's just really frustrating. And I was laying awake and probably till like 3 or 4:30 in the morning, just thinking about like, when is it too late to leave? At what point?
Oh, you mean to like move?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, I'll tell you, like, you should go. I will. I'll be like, you should go. I can't leave because his work is here and we're like the last line of defense. We can go to Canada. We talked about it. But he's like, Canada's the furthest away we can go because we gotta fight the fight. I'm like, right.
Yeah.
But you could go anywhere. I would definitely suggest Asia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, your work has headquarters in Singapore.
Yeah, I should definitely go there.
But don't they like not like gay people? That's hard for me.
That's still more progressive than if you had to leave here. That would be the point where that was already happening here. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So
I mean,
that would be like
I don't know,
not
they're
that
trying
big
to take
deal.
firearms away from
By the time you'd have
LGBTQ community, so
do you see what I'm saying? By the time you'd have to, that would be already passed here.
Yeah.
So that would be irrelevant.
Right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just been like what's been rattling around in my brain lately is that fucking wild Supreme Court ruling where like, yeah, racial profiling, it's okay.
It's like codified now.
Yeah. It's like,
it's a weird,
you can literally ask anybody because of their skin color.
It's crazy.
To own up and have their papers.
The most prevalent crime in the Supreme Court is sexual assault. And you can't racially profile sexual assault. So that's why they were for it.
There was a tweet I saw. It was like, raise your hand if you think there are members on the Supreme Court that are compromised by the Epstein files. Like me, like they're like people on the Supreme Court that are in the Epstein files. And somebody was saying,
I mean, the cabinet, there's definitely like, I think 5 members of the cabinet, I think, were friends with Epstein.
Yeah.
So they're definitely compromised. I don't really, it doesn't matter because Clarence Thomas, we already know.
Piece of shit.
Well, I mean, we have a full-on hearing about it. You know? Like, I believe her. And then with Kavanaugh, I believe her too. So I'm just like, we already see, they're just telling us like, you can have a lot of equality. You can even out earn us. But the last stand we have is this. Mm-hmm. And it's just a matter of when the tide is higher, like the wave is bigger, that pushes all of that behavior. So at first it was like just how you would marry kids because they could ovulate or whatever. And then it was like, okay, that's gross. Yeah. Then it's dowries, and then it's just, okay, that's not right. And then it's like, because you still have this culture in like India. You know, there's like other countries where I was like, dang, there's some crazy, you know? Yeah. So it comes from like somewhere in our like human, masculine, whatever, patriarchal thing. So we're very progressively trying to push it out of normalcy. I think, I want to say like Tennessee is trying to pass a bill that says that there's no age minimum to marry, which is really gross. But we have these counteracting forces happening right now. But for the most part, I would say, and I'm not like, I don't think this is even a conservative thing. I would say like, honestly, like 90% of us think it's disgusting to marry a child or have sex with a child, period. Like, I think that's like, but it's just the people that happen to be in power that are cool with it, happen to be in certain places of power that they can literally control it in a way that makes it seem like it's actually harder to stop, even though it should be so easy.
It should be the easiest thing to do. It should be like, there should be an overwhelming consensus like that we should, the age to get married should be a minimum of 18, and you know, why are you getting married and you can't even vote?
There's so many reasons why. It's just also just like, there's also the structure, like there's two things that happen. It's obviously children, but there's just like this thing of sex and purity, right? There's something about that. And it's like, let's keep it real. That's like a manufactured, whatever, like dumb thing, you know, like it's just like, so.
I think it's a controlling thing to make women feel ashamed about their bodies or to like keep them in check. I think a societal kind of thing.
There was something that I saw recently that made a lot of sense to me. It's like, once women get more empowered, then they don't want to have kids. Like, if they can make their own money and they can like move about the world without men and don't feel like their main purpose in life through the culture of the country that they're living in, whatever, is that they're supposed to be there and like raise children and like have children and like, you know, if they don't have that, then they're gonna have less children. And that could be a problem for, you know, like men, because they're not gonna know what their role is in society. And I was like, oh, that is actually happening kind of now to a certain extent. Like, I could see that. Yeah, of course, that's why there's the backlash, and they're trying to force us to have kids and remind us, like, you know, as much as I thought, like, the Mormon wives thing, I was like, oh, that's kind of, like, cute that they still think like that. Like, it's kind of cute, you know? But then I realized, like, they don't, because look how much they do all kinds of crazy stuff, and they're, like, kind of mean each other.
Yeah, and they're trying to make their own money.
The one who started it all, that I was like, she should get props for starting the whole thing. She's the new Bachelorette.
What?
Yeah, dude.
The people that were saying that, were they basing that off of like what's currently happening, or how are they showing that statistically?
What were you saying? Which one?
The one that says that when women get equality, they have less children.
Well, it makes sense that like they're saying is like when you
like, how are they
have in societies where they're looking at societies and like where they treated women was very patriarchal, and like your entire purpose was like to have kids, and you had like a lot of like religious structure in there in the culture, and then you had like hard access to get paid, you know, for women to get like work. Then there was a lot more kids, but then in countries where they were closer to like equality because they could work on their own, they didn't have to like, and that wasn't the culture that you had to have kids. Like, that was not the strong like religious culture like that. They saw like, oh, people have less kids, like women tend to have less. So that you could see statistically, you can see it in the countries. You're like, this is, but that's good. Why should we be strapped down? We should. It's pro-choice.
Yeah,
we chose to have fewer children.
I'm just curious because
you want to have 5.
I would, yeah.
Like,
I would love to have more kids, but it's expensive.
Let me challenge society. If you want to have more kids, there are definitely people that want to have more kids.
Just make it fucking affordable.
Make society supportive of people that want to have more kids. Don't force people that can't afford to have kids to have children. Like, that doesn't make sense. Because you're putting people into poverty, and then they're in an environment where it's very stressful. You're creating people that are not like going to be the best version of themselves, and that's the people you're putting in society. That doesn't make any sense.
Right.
We have people that really want to have more kids. Help them have more kids. Help them have more. She's a great mom. Help her have more children to be able to raise more good people. Like, that's how you do it in society. But instead, because they're not thinking like that, it's like control and like negative, not like, let me help positively. Let me ask, what are your strengths? Who are the ones that want to raise kids? Let me help you facilitate that. Who don't want to raise kids? Let me help you facilitate that. And it's not this morale thing, because then you're not creating more victims of society that then go into the world and like are unhappy and maybe can't.
Yeah. Well,
thrive.
So with that study, I was just thinking, like, comparing countries, also like the economic status. Like, I feel like here, even though we have more equality, even though I did point out to my husband that we were listening to a song and I said, you know, when this song came out, I actually had more rights than I do today. And he just got real quiet. And I was like, yeah, you could tell I'm just like in a fucking mood. I'm in a fucking mood. But it's true.
Oh, it's true.
It's true. But
100% true. Green Day is coming September 30th.
Hey.
Should we go?
Carl and I went to that concert. Not together, but we were both there in Ohio.
Oh, I know. I looked at they're expensive tickets.
Yeah. But
I mean, good for them. But
yeah.
Whoa, expensive tickets. Oh my God.
Good.
Like $5,000.
Fuck,
$1,700 for like nosebleed. $5,000 for like floor. I was like, yo, usually floor I can get like 180, 160.
Yeah.
I was like, $5,000. $4,375.
If you're comparing like a country where they're not as industrialized as we are, of course we're going to be having less kids because it's more expensive, versus there they don't have like the cost that we do, and their infant mortality rate's probably higher, things like that.
Also, if they're farming, they need like labor.
Yeah, so I'm looking at the other factors of that, because there are societies that are matriarchal and not patriarchal, and they still have kids. They still have You know?
Oh no, you always have kids. It's just like,
I feel like people are having fewer kids because it's so fucking expensive. And also there's this thing that I saw that I want to talk to you about. It's called the missing millennials.
Okay, tell me.
And it's about how young millennials are dying at a crazy high rate.
Hmm?
Yeah. And they're like, they're
Depression?
not having kids. No, like colon cancer, autoimmune diseases, like
stress-induced,
yeah,
high cortisol from a bad economy.
I think
not being able to achieve dreams that were promised to them.
I think we're just like literally always shit upon.
I mean, honestly, I'm gonna keep it real with you. Every generation gets shit upon. I'm gonna keep it really real.
I mean,
as a Gen Xer that just like gets erased from society, as an observer, everybody gets shit on.
I mean, people are still saying millennials erase the guest room. I just read an article about how millennials erase the guest room, and it's because.
I mean, I guess that's true. I don't really know what it's like to be in a generation that gets blamed for everything, because you guys get blamed for a lot of shit. I'm not gonna lie. You get blamed for pretty much
restaurants failing, millennials. But housing market crashing, millennials.
But I want you all to understand, there is power in not giving a fuck. Like, if you guys as millennials could just be like, do you know, like, I do what I want. Like, literally, they'll just be like, whatever. There is some power in just being like, I don't really care what you have to say. You guys have to get that to that point. Yeah. But there's also buying power. I don't know how strong your buying power is.
Our buying power is fucked because everybody's paying $1,000 a month in student loans, $600 a month for their car notes, $4,000 a month for rent. I don't even know how much for groceries, depends on how much you eat.
So this is the question I have.
And so that's why you're not having kids.
No, let me ask you this. We're talking about $4,000 a month in rent. All right.
Yeah.
There are solutions to this, but the thing is you gotta move away. Mm-hmm. But the thing is you can, because you can do everything like remotely. You don't have to work in person necessarily, right? Would millennials be willing to create their own communities where you literally set the housing price like really low and you just facilitate it like a co-op? Because this is what I think. I'm just literally brainstorming this shit right now. But like New York, we have co-ops, right? There's this area in Lancaster, California that had like they literally have the grid mapped for like the neighborhood, but then they never built there. So you can see the aerial view is like, oh, you can see like they literally had this entire community plan out. You can see it. They just never built on it. I'm like, dang, they already planned that. You guys like somebody could develop on top of that and just do that because they just saved money in the plan and everything. And like create a new community that's really inexpensive, but it's still not far. It's not just like far, you know. But if you had everything you needed there, well, you wouldn't really need to come into the. Now that I've left LA, I'm like, I really don't care
to live in LA.
No, and I was in New York, like hardcore New York, hardcore city, Williamsburg, Bushwick, Brooklyn, city, like Jay-Z's old neighborhood, straight up, was my subway stop. That's the only subway stop. So I couldn't have been in more like city, but I can tell you right now, like of all the things, and not just because I have kids, but like legitimately, it is nice to just when you have more buying power. Like if that's the main argument, then go and create a community where you literally like co-op it, and like you guys could do that and facilitate some kind of like housing that is affordable, and like you could do like food communes where you could like grow your own food that people could, because I don't think we need to do the same, you know, like tech. Everybody know in tech was make a bank, but now I say that AI can like take over, and like they're not gonna make any money. Like they're making like $360,000 like at the gate, which is a lot of fucking. That's what like a CEO makes. Okay, CEO is like $300K and above, generally around there. So if you're entry level doing tech and you're making $360, that's fucking badass. Especially like you're young, you're like, oh my god. But there's a point where like you get tapped out, and then you realize there's more like tactical things like welding, electricity. Electric, you know, like there's like jobs that they're gonna be more important, and like I think farming is gonna be one of those things because you see all the food that we have, it's like not great, but you have to kind of band together and then do that, and like
and also people have to know how to do this stuff.
Well, there's definitely like well, that's the great thing about communicating online, right? Like you can do like, I mean, maybe look, we have this kind of thing. Let's say like because I know developers. My husband was a lawyer for a development company actually that does a lot of this stuff in where you live. So like there's different developers that would love to do these kind of projects and stuff like that. They just need to know that there's money, there's people that would actually buy that and want to do it and like
buy into that.
And then but there's something to be said. Let's say like what would be a good price right now? Like if you could pay per month, millennials, wherever you know like your
so like
average. I don't know where you guys are averaging at. It's still $30,000 a year average salary now. I remember that was always the number.
I mean, I have no clue what millennials are averaging.
I feel like it's probably somewhere between 30 and 40K.
But
so you would need it to be like $500 a month.
I don't know.
I think
that
so.
was a calculator.
I think so.
So
then, how small of a house do you want to be? There's tiny houses. I know a guy actually.
We actually don't. We don't mind living in a tiny home.
What's tiny?
Like
that's the other question. What is considered tiny now?
Like.
Could you live in 1,000 square feet for your rest of your life? Because I was in 990 square feet in New York, and I was willing to live. We were thinking we were going to live there for the rest of our life. We had 2 kids. With 3 kids,
I would say no. If there
but
were
people do it in New York. That's considered a large apartment.
3 bedrooms?
No, I just want you to understand how that is considered a large apartment. My apartment in New York is considered a very large.
Is apartment. It just all the kids are in one bedroom and their parents are in the other bedroom?
Mm-hmm. We knew full adults that came home to Manhattan, and they had bunk beds in their parents' home, and it was a beautiful Manhattan apartment that was like considered like this is like posh. Yeah. That's why we lived there. Unless you had like a lot, that's not normal. Every time you're saying those are not that's not where people live.
Yeah, no.
Those are like oligarchs that buy that stuff. Launder that shit. Nobody even stays in those houses. A lot of those penthouses, they're not even occupied. They're bought.
I would say we would need 3 bedrooms.
So you would need
like 1,200 square feet.
Okay.
Because you could fit 3 bedrooms.
That's still a pretty sizable house. So that's pretty sizable. So I'm thinking if you're gonna pay $500 a month, you got to be able to live in like a 700 square foot house probably. For $500. I'm just saying if you're a millennial who is completely out of reach of buying a house.
Also, I'm not your
there's tiny home.
I'm not your standard millennial because most of them don't have kids. So
they don't.
Yeah, so like they could be fine living in a freaking 700 square foot house, like a super tiny house, and paying $500 a month. Since I have kids, and if my husband's working remotely, we would need I would say that our two littles would share a bedroom like we are now, and then his office would also be our oldest son's.
Let me pose it this way. So you're gonna stay where you want to stay, no matter what.
We want to stay where we want to stay because also the school district
Right.
and all of that stuff.
But you can overcome that
Yeah, we're
school district situation and get a bigger place, but you don't want to do that because you want to stay there.
Yeah, we want to.
That's the key to understand. Okay, so you want to stay there. So are you willing to?
I'm not talking about me specifically.
Go down. No, but your family. The plan, the long-term plan that you're gonna have. Do you plan realistically? Because the prices are gonna keep going up.
Yeah.
Do you? Unless you guys subscribe and there's a ton of subscribers. Are you willing to go down to like a townhouse or a large apartment instead of getting a single family home to stay in the school district that you want to be in?
If we're gonna move, we would move out of the country.
Okay.
That's like my husband and I, we talk about it all the time, and he's like, we're staying here. Either we're gonna buy here.
No. So my point is,
move out of the country.
You're not moving out of the country. I'm asking you specifically for.
Yeah, we would just stay.
But are you just gonna rent forever in a house, or would you buy a townhouse or a 3-bedroom apartment or a 3-bedroom townhouse and forego a single family home?
Yeah.
Okay. So you would go downsize.
We would downsize to own.
Give up a pool.
To build.
Give
to
it the pool and then
equity. Yeah.
Okay.
But the thing is we're just waiting.
Or you could go
waiting for the housing market to crash.
So here's the irony of you saying that. That's exactly what he's doing. That's exactly what Trump is doing right now. He's trying to crash everything. And so I remember thinking, the bad, during pandemic, I remember thinking, that's the reality is, because of currency trading, I understand. The reality is when there's a bad situation happening for the world, then the market crashes. And if you haven't had money saved, you can move in and buy things cheap. So when the houses were high, I was like, oh man, you need the market to crash for anybody that needs to buy a house to be able to buy a house. Yeah. But you don't want to, you're not trying to root for the market to crash. That's a terrible thing. But the reality is as it gets so high, there's no way. So.
Sit and wait. Especially where we are, we have a lot of cash buyers from overseas.
Yeah, you do.
So.
It's very hard. That's what I was saying to you about the, looking at the
foreclosed homes?
Tax liened.
Yeah.
The people that just are gone and they don't they completely forgot they even had it. There are people that forget they have property. They literally just forget they have
$4 million houses.
Kris Jenner is said on the new show. She was like, I totally forgot that I have my old neighborhood.
Yeah.
Wilshire Corridor. High rises. They're in LA. It's on Wilshire and it goes into, so we were on Wilshire and Comstock, which is the Comstock goes into Holmby, which is the really, really expensive. That's where Kylie Jenner and Playboy Mansion and Disney's old mansion and everybody that's really, really rich lives there. More than Beverly Hills. Holmby is way more rich. Okay. So she forgot that she had an apartment in that area, which is very expensive. She was like, oh yeah, I totally forgot that I have an apartment, a penthouse over here. I just remembered the other day. And Chloe's like, God, one day I hope I could be as rich as Kris Jenner and forget that I have $1 million penthouse in the Wilshire Corridor. In this dope neighborhood. What? She's like, I have Moe and I have champagne in the fridge and that's Christmas wrapping apartment. I brought presents here. I was like, you got that's crazy. So it happens that people do forget that they have $4 million man. They do. Yeah. And I don't.
Yeah. There was a squatting incident by the school, one of the mansions by the school.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. And they couldn't get a hold of the owner because the owner lived overseas.
I'm not surprised.
And they had to WeChat her and they were, it was a whole big
How did you know about this? Oh, next door.
Sarah used to live across the street before she left.
Oh, so you got the real tea.
Yeah.
She was like, I saw it firsthand.
Because the guy was going in there with his dog and stuff.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he broke in.
I used to look at those houses and be like, this is prime squatting area because people be not knowing.
No.
Maybe not knowing that these houses are here and they forget.
25% of the houses on every street in Arcadia are probably vacant.
Well, they're not vacant. They're just forgotten.
They're forgotten.
They're forgotten about. And that's what I'm saying. You should bring this one up. Just say, oh, dude, I don't know if you know this, but some crazy stuff went down in the city council in Arcadia that Eric
yeah.
heard about. He gave me the tea, so oh my God, he knew all about it. I was like, how do you know this? Like, I'm so glad. Because he was supposed to run for city council, and he was like, because the mayor actually personally asked him to run. Came to Nico's birthday party when he turned 10, 9, whatever, at
Sharon?
Bolero? No, Man.
Man?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he was so nice, and so we became friends. So I thought we were going to stay there. We had planned to buy there, especially because there was going to be political, like, entree, easy entree into there. So we were privy to what has happened, and I was like, what? He's like, I'm so glad I'm not there. There's so much drama. Like, I don't understand why it has to be like that. It was like censure, all kinds of crazy stuff. Like, so, you know, and that's a functioning city. Actually, that city functions pretty well, except for the city council, which is just like power grabbing situation.
They're like money hungry and power grabby, and I just want to know what they're doing to bring businesses into Arcadia, because there's a lot of empty ones and it kind of looks really sad. You go to Pasadena, it looks really cute. You go to Monrovia, it looks cute. You come to Arcadia, it's just restaurants and empty business fronts, and it's kind of depressing.
Yeah, downtown where I used to live right there. I could walk there. It is depressing and sad. And the people that are there, they deserve to have more revitalization in their name because they're like paying the rent.
And they need community support. And so I think city council should incentivize the community to go out and support, but they don't.
But see, that's just how important like, local government is very important.
Yeah,
so like we're always worried about federal, but you see like where you're at, it is important to actively get involved and like let me, you know, like see.
Let me yell at these people.
Well, it's also just like let me come up with ideas. Sometimes you don't have to yell. They may be like, why don't you guys do this? I'm like, well, that's a good idea. Like, yeah, do it. Like, I'm not any credit. Just do it. Just do it. So that's what I would do with like. You need container housing for the homeless with social services and counseling and job help. And then the people like, you should send that directly to the mayor's office. And I'd send it. And then you see it trickle in. You see it trickle and you're like, nice.
It's like common sense.
No, because they didn't do it. How long did they not have that? Now it's like it started going everywhere. And I was like, yes. Because when one city does it, then another city sees it. And then they go,
oh, this program is flourishing.
That was a good idea. And I was like, container housing is very inexpensive. It's very good weatherproof stuff. So you can use it anywhere. It's very inexpensive. And it's cute. If you make it modern, it's cute.
Yeah.
You can move them. So.
And they just don't need housing. They need those social services and that support too.
I mean, my ideal is to consolidate where it's like all single mothers and their kids in one housing development that does that. So that it's almost like a co-op in that sense.
Like a village.
Yeah, but they're like-minded people, so you don't have like I don't have to worry about this scary guy that's like single that's trying to work on his life in my mix with my kiddos. Yeah. So I would like something like that with like a playground and like all these other things, and then maybe one for. I even think like there's people that don't want to work, and you just gotta understand there are people that don't want to work. How can we help them? Do they want to do art? Do they want to figure out their and then like let them kind of like in a commune grow, just figure it out instead of just like roaming the street. There's like a way that you can like let us protect you, let us like humanize, let us be. Yeah. We're trying to work this out instead of I feel like we try to punish everybody for not being productive in society, as opposed to saying like, how can I help you be productive in society? Yeah. There's a different way of trying to do that than just like shame on you and like.
Yeah, I feel like if you don't fit into the cookie cutter, like if you're not cookie cutter, then they're like, well, screw it, you're on your own.
That's not gonna help. That doesn't work. So that's why I'm like this. We gotta change the way that we. Yeah. Well, this is the problem with people that are rich forever that have never been poor. As a leader, if you've never been poor, you tend to have been like told at some point, and then maybe you believe it, that like you're extra special, and that like those people that are poor, like there's something wrong with them. So then you think like you need to punish them. Yeah. Because they're poor, that means that something happened that they earned it. Because that's never happened to you. You've been so far away from that. Like, if you just believe that, like that, like I met enough people to know.
Crazy narcissistic.
But there are people.
Point,
But the reality is that's how the people are thinking. Like, and they're in the White House that are doing that, right? So, it's important. I think that because JFK was rich his whole life, I think that's why people don't think like if you aren't poor at some point that it matters. But look at RFK Jr. Like, holy moly, right? Like, they're all just, like, associating from it. Do you know that they're like, we don't want these, like, ruining the family legacy. They've even gone as far as saying, like, don't even look at us anymore as someone to, like, to look at. Don't even use this as, like, a North Star.
We don't claim him.
They're like, well, he screwed it up. Don't even
Nope.
pay attention to us. We don't want to claim him. And I'm like, dang, that's like intense. And in Asian society and like Japanese culture and like in general, I think like the honor of like dishonoring your family, the idea of doing that is like so crazy that the idea that they just be doing that is
It's
like,
his brainworm. He can't help it.
imagine coming from a family like the Kennedys and like one person. What I tell you, it takes 3 generations to fuck it up. Joe Kennedy, Robert Kennedy, RFK Jr. Fucking it up!
Fucking it up. It's his brainworm. That's my favorite thing on social media.
My favorite thing about him was
It's his
a meme.
worm.
So mine was, somebody called him the microwave Mel Gibson.
Ah, yes. That's
And
so true. But
I
also Mel
can't
Gibson's a piece of shit too.
That's perfect. That's why I don't feel bad for Mel Gibson. I'm like, perfect. I think the hard thing for me was to like, I was watching Death Becomes Her, and I was like, Bruce Willis. And then I saw this clip about M. Night Shyamalan talking about how Bruce Willis for Sixth Sense. It was like the last shot or something, and he's like, Bruce Willis looks at M. Night Shyamalan, he's like, I think we got it. And he goes, nope. And he goes, I think you're gonna do more. And he's like, Bruce looked like he was gonna punch me. He goes, okay, roll up, let's go. He's like, I think you're doing just. And he's like, he nailed it. He nailed it. So Bruce then goes, checking the gate, which means like check that it's clean, everything's good, we can wrap for the day, like done. Checking the gate is like end of the day or end of the entire thing. So usually cheer, yeah, right? Because I used to be an acting background actor. So then he calls him to the trailer. He goes, oh my god, he says yeah, and he goes, Bruce Willis says to M. Night Shyamalan, I just want you to know, I've only felt like this one other time, and it was with Pulp Fiction. He's like, thanks, Bruce. And he goes, I literally skipped away. I was like, that's super cute. And so, you know, like I was just thinking, oh, Bruce Willis, like he doesn't even know.
He's such an icon and he doesn't know.
Even know right now. He doesn't even know. But maybe it's good you don't know, because maybe you'd be more scared if you knew, to a certain extent. Like Ronald Reagan didn't know he was president at the end. He had no idea. That happens to a lot of great people. And maybe dementia in a way, like maybe that's like if you know you're getting old and you're this great person like your whole life. That's why those billionaires are like trying to like spend all their money trying to biohack, and they want to live forever because they're so rich. And I'm like, well, why would you want to live forever?
Yeah, you would get bored, wouldn't you?
I mean, I would. Also, isn't it kind of weird to just like spend all your time trying to live longer? It's also very weird.
Yeah.
So
just enjoy it while you're here.
Yeah.
Damn, bro, you're a billionaire.
But, you know, some people are like that. So it's interesting to see, you know, like you have, I would think like, why wouldn't you just show him the films?
I don't know what that.
This is you.
Does he know what he looks like? Like in his brain, does he
when you show a mirror, go, look, bro, look, it's you. I don't know. But I don't know if it's scary.
Or when it would freak him out.
I don't know.
He'd be like, wait, what? How is that me?
I don't know. So that's the thing, like you have to, now it's an existential thing for anybody to think like, where do I want to, you know, you really, it's good to think about these things sometimes, like to be grounded. And even like he has given the gift of thought to all of us at all, so many different times, right? Like I definitely thought about Pulp Fiction a lot. After watching that movie, I was like, dang, that thing was intense, right? And Sixth Sense, I was like, oh my God, you know, like Afterlife. And just sort of like him in his real life, how he was able to manage co-parenting. I think he was like the first real like celebrity that handled co-parenting really well. Yeah. So that, and just like how he is to his kids. You know, like there's just like this like a journey of somebody being a good person in people's lives and stuff that is famous. Because you see a lot of famous people that are not
great,
that nice, or weird. Like I've met a lot in fashion. I've met a lot of weird people that you guys are like they're A-listers that you're like, really, they're like that. And like, some people need a lot of affirmation constantly by their staff, and you're just like, wow, you're really famous. I'm surprised you need all that. And there's people that don't. They're just like cool and normal, and then you really appreciate those people for being that way because they want to stay connected to people like human beings. They don't want to be in this place. Some people want to, clearly the other people that won't like it, they want to be in this place where
they want to
like,
be elevated.
Yeah.
And then there's other people that want to be grounded.
Yeah. Because they don't want to be like crazy. They don't want to go crazy. Because you will go crazy if you make yourself too, like if you put yourself too high on a pedestal.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You will go crazy. Yeah. Yeah, I would imagine like, and if you buy into it, like I am this awesome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I am a god, you know, like a god on earth. Like, because it gets to these levels where, like, when everybody's like looking at you, like, you're amazing, you know, like, you're like, people look at me like I'm freaking. You see what I'm saying? How then it like feeds into somebody. Like, they like me, maybe they like me, but it's like dangerous, right?
I don't know. I have like imposter syndrome, so I cannot relate. My brain's like, no, I would never.
It's funny.
But yeah.
So, anything else you want to talk about?
No. I just want to follow up with this cruise. I'm glad you made it back home safely.
Yeah.
That part's nice. And then, yeah, I've just had this awful existential dread when it comes to our...
Have you lost all hope? I feel like you lost hope, but you could just be tired.
Oh, well, I told you I'm taking this
Yeah. So,
thing.
it could be
So
that.
it's making me super anxious, also
Yeah.
giving me insomnia. So and then I'm already anxious and an overthinker.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like I'm really doubling down on being awful. I'm not losing hope, because I do see, like, on the state and local level, Democrats are turning out, especially in places where Trump performed well.
Yeah.
The Republicans are not performing well on those.
Oh,
those
dude.
local elections.
New York mayoral race. Donnie is ahead by, like, I saw this graph, and it was like he was ahead by, like, he's like here, and everybody below him's like these small in terms of like
Good.
how, but New York developers, like real estate developers, are all meeting together to try to like take him down. I'm like, why are you so concerned about this one candidate that everybody loves? What is it? Because he's Muslim? I don't understand what the problem is. We have a lot of Muslims in New York. Like, I don't understand what the issue is.
They won't be making money at the same degree.
That's
Because
not true.
he wants
It's not true though.
more affordable housing and all this stuff, you know?
I just think it's funny because if anything would stimulate the economy. You guys don't get it. Him being mayor would only, if all that stuff made it more accessible. Like, if you could easily get to work for free because the bus was free, everything was free, you could just have more people that made money that could buy more apartments or that like pay rent or whatever. Like, it would just stimulate the economy. They're not really I don't understand what the problem is. Like, they're idiots.
Here's the issue, though. Because we live in a capitalist society. And capitalism is the ultimate pyramid scheme. So, it's true. It's true. It's true.
Okay.
And
All right, go on.
they want more. They don't want to divvy out to get more in the long run. They want more now. It's always about beating last year's number, not like 10-year project.
Well, the thing about growth is like you can't grow forever. That's why
You
I'm like,
can't
you have to
grow
change the metric.
forever.
It's just a weird kind of thing. Like,
Capitalism.
well, you eventually, just like a musician that's like constantly, like, you have to make some more records. I'm like, it's not possible to keep selling. Like, just be glad that you're sustaining. I don't understand why you have to keep, like, what are you talking about? If you're constantly selling $1 million albums, why does it matter? It doesn't have to be 2. If you don't make it to 2, you're a failure. That's crazy talk. So to me, I'm just like, we just have to create new metrics. We have to think about
For capitalism.
For capitalism, but like for society too. I mean, I think it is harder now to work in like for instance, we have, when I was looking at our metrics for who's viewing us and stuff, we have people from all over the world checking out the podcast. So like Sweden, we got like people in London. Shout out to London. We got people.
Why not shout out to Sweden?
Well, because we got an
can't
annual
be
subscriber
anywhere.
from the UK. That's what I'm like.
Okay.
And you know, like it's interesting to hear from different people around the world their take on what's going on, and then also recognize that we have allies outside. They're like, no, like when you guys, the good guys inside here, they're fighting the fight. It sounds like it's loud. It's loud. The crazies are loud.
Yeah.
But really, the voice of reason is more unified and like on the larger scale is we're doing the right thing. It's just a matter of like, we just have to work it out, fight it out until like they just phase out. Because whether or not they like, I don't think this power is going to continue like this. Like eventually they will like naturally die out. The new ones that take over, they still have, there's enough progressiveness that like it's a new version. It won't be like this crazy. Like what this is the end of this really, really villainous, evil.
I'm hoping that it's the end because I can't see it going another step further. Like at that point, what the fuck would it be?
Well, I think the next thing that's going to come is like a lot of art and joy that's going to combat all of this. Because I feel like when we were, like the first time I remember just feeling like, oh my God. And then when it came out that we had like taken control back, we just got apathetic, and they got really angry, and they really wanted power back, and they were still like able to work some magic that they like, you know, were able to, you know, like Palantir, you have all these like white male gay CEOs that are not allies. Like, this is the thing about nuance, okay? We have in the Democratic Party and progressive parties, apparently people don't like being labeled Democrats. They'd rather be called progressive. So that's a change.
That's because, yeah, Democrats are still, they're old guard, and like they're not
Was that the
listening to their,
Okay.
they're not listening to people. People who are registered Democrats are actually more progressive than what our representatives are presenting.
I definitely can feel that there's a
divide.
Not even a glass ceiling. Like, I straight up feel like a concrete ceiling in the Democratic Party. That like when they don't like somebody that's like an upstart is doing well, they will not let you through. Period. Even if the people want you, they won't let you through. And I think it's so weird.
It's completely with Mamdani.
Yeah, I mean, but not just that. David Hogue. They didn't do it to Obama. Maybe because he was just too charismatic. They tried. They definitely tried.
Oh, they tried.
But I thought that he would have been an example why you like don't do that. So the hard part is when your own team is like working against you for people that you like, and you're like, these are the stars that need to be supported. Like, why are you running against us?
Frustrating part. Why are they using more effort to smother people in their own party than instead of using all that effort toward?
It's because their donors don't like that candidate, and they're like, if you don't support me fighting this candidate that the people want, I'm not going to donate to you. And they're like, I need that money. That's it. Like, they can't run.
Capitalism sucks.
Yeah, like I think if we went back to, I don't know if we could even do this.
Like,
we need to go back to where like there's like a government fund, and then everybody just gets the same amount of money, and there's no other fundraising, because the corruption of this whole situation is so bad. But we also needed people to see. This is my biggest problem with people that say I don't want to discuss politics, but then they also are like, well, if the information was so prevalent, then I would know about it. And I'm like, well, you said you didn't want to discuss it. So it's like, that how can I tell you if you don't want to discuss it? Like, at what point do you want to discuss it? At the point that's too late. So that's the thing. Like, people need to readjust when they say like, oh, I don't want to talk about politics. It's like, that is actually the same to me is like a whisper campaign that was like put into society the same way that like you keep your mouth shut about sharing your salary. Like, that helps only the top.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like,
everybody else, if we all knew how much we all made, it would be great.
And that's why same thing, like, you need to talk politics because you don't know what other people are doing. So if you share, like, do you know they're doing this? What? That's fucked up. You know, like, you need to know. Mm-hmm. So same thing. So that's why I'm like, when that will get there, I don't know. But I feel like there's a lot of realization right now that was not there before that is coming from MAGA, which is great. A lot of the podcasters on the MAGA side that like helped get Trump elected totally have remorse. That's great. You can get mad at them for like having done it in the first place, but you need a U-turn. You need remorse. You need right, or like what are we like? What?
We shouldn't be turning them away.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So
I should be like, oh, thank goodness you realized. Come on over.
Hang out. Have a drink.
Let's take this mofo down together.
Let's talk. Yeah. So I think all of that is really like, that's a light. That is a light. Like when you're saying, oh, these are the lights that are coming out of the tunnel. They're like, and there's multiple. Like, hello, we're trying to find you. You know. So I think what we wanted in the first place. Like, is this the line? I hope this is the line. This better be the line. I remember us being very emphatic. It is the line. Thank God. Now we're seeing it unfold. We would like it to have unfolded faster. I think that's what you're upset about. You're upset that this is not just like it would have just fallen apart and been like, boom.
I'm upset that there's no checks and balances on the federal level. I think that's what it is. Because I think on a societal level, when it comes to social media and all of that, I think there's been a pivot. But
I think they hacked the government. And I don't mean I mean that from like a colloquially.
Yeah.
They hacked the government, like they figured it out and we were like behind.
I think that's what I'm kind of like, what? Like
I mean, they may have also hacked the government, technically, too. I'm not saying they didn't do that, but I meant it.
Doge did that for us.
I meant it colloquial when I was saying it. But like, technically, they also hacked us.
Did it for us, yeah. I was just, like I felt like there are courts like circuit courts. There's some state court, like federal courts, that have put up roadblocks, but I just felt like there would have been so many more. And I feel like
there were, but they tore them down. But we weren't paying attention because honestly, because social media was on the rise. No, because I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think
the rise of like, I think we were so distracted by TikTok. I'm not gonna lie. TikTok being a creator, when people started being able to make money on social media and they found a new outlet to be able to be creative and they were distracted by what was actually happening in the government. And you're too joyful. Like, I don't want to hear that bullshit. I'm having fun on TikTok.
Yeah.
Do you understand? I remember going like, just nobody cares. And I wasn't on TikTok, so I didn't understand, just like when boy bands are, I'm not into, so I don't understand the full magnetism. But from observing, like, oh, this is really in the world and it's important to them, like, I have to respect, like, put respect on the name of those things, right? So now I'm like, okay, people do care more. They've never cared more in government, realistically. Other than the Obama first election, nobody, this is the first time where people are like really, really understanding, like trying to really understand how government works, how it's integrated and everything. This is a great, like, education. It's history happening in real time, so it's scary as hell. But this is like the big educating of America on civics and power.
Because people did not pay attention in high school.
Mm-mm. Integrity. Right? Integrity, what does it really mean?
Yeah.
Right? That's now. Like, does it matter if your spouse... Okay. This was under Clinton. This was like the big Clinton question that was going on at the time.
Yeah.
Does it matter if the world leader is loyal and faithful to their spouse? Now you're looking at Trump like, does it matter? Does it tell you? Because to me, I remember saying this to people and go, oh, I never thought of that. I'm like, it's so obvious. But it's like, there was a mobster that reiterated the same thought, which is, if they're going to betray the person that is like the closest to them, that they're supposed to love and protect, that they're like, how could you trust them yourself? And when I say that to guys, they're like, oh, that's a good point. I'm like, my thing was, how come guys don't make that connection? I don't understand. What is different about our brains that they don't make that connection? Whereas like, I had to explain that connection and like, oh, like, what do they think? They're like, it doesn't matter. To most guys, when they explain to me, why do you not? They're like, because it's not related. I'm like, how can that be related? They're like, because you're doing your job, it has nothing to do with you having sex. And I'm like, no, there's like a trust thing. Yeah. And they're like, what trust thing? Like, they didn't
emotionally deep, maybe, or.
I mean, it could be that. I just don't understand where the disconnect is. When it's so obvious, like when I'm telling you, you're like, yeah, it's obvious, right?
Yeah.
How could it be so obvious and then not obvious? And then when you tell them, like, that makes perfect sense. And you're like,
right.
Where is that in our brains? What is the thing? What is the thing that's like bigger, smaller, or different?
Because men aren't as emotionally intelligent as women, so they don't make those connections. For them, everything's like so compartmentalized.
Okay.
But on the surface, but actually deep down, their subconscious, it's not.
Okay.
And so I feel like that's like when they look at like
I believe you.
Men's
brains. Because you have a psychology degree.
Versus women's brains.
I'm just looking at like,
yeah, like women's brains, it's more complex. I don't want to say men have smoother brains because that sounds fucking rude.
No, that means they're stupid.
Yeah.
You want really wrinkly brain.
But women have wrinklier brains than men, and that's why women are better at multitasking.
Yes, I can. Men. Yes.
So that's.
I also think like hunting and gathering, like you really can't be that empathetic if you're trying to kill for food.
No.
If you're gonna kill, you're gonna feel so bad about killing right? If you're gonna kill the calf,
right?
Because that's easier than killing the cow, and you're empathetic. I mean, if you're a mom, you're empathetic.
I get sad when I pick up meat from the grocery store.
See what I'm saying? So like stuff like that. So, like I get like from a evolutionary standpoint, like why it has to be like that, but how it works in society, how it messes it up.
We've evolved beyond that, and so. The brain is just taking a little bit longer to get there, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But that tracks. And also, Clinton was a piece of shit for doing that.
Yeah. I mean, that was the thing, the Clinton Global Initiative thing was, so because as it's coming out, like they're on the plane all the time. And no, but at least there's a reason. It's not just.
Oh, I'm talking about the Monica Lewinsky thing.
Oh, well, I would love for her to run for office. Monica Lewinsky, I'm going to tell you right now. Yeah. If you ran for office, I think you would win. I don't know what, like how. Pick the right, don't you think? You pick the right job, she could win. And I think it would be like empowering for
Right. So
there'd be justice in it. I'm not like Hillary Clinton has nothing to do with it. It's not her. It's her circus, but it's not her fault.
Right.
You know?
She didn't get her dick sucked.
So I'm not talking about, I hope it doesn't, whatever.
Yeah.
But like, I'm just saying that Monica Lewinsky didn't deserve that. And I would love for her to get some kind of redemption other than just being hilarious on Twitter.
If Bill Clinton is tied to Jeffrey Epstein,
if Bill Clinton has like had sexual
Yeah.
encounters with girls, we're talking about a totally different thing. Like, I'm full on like, no, you gotta get prosecuted. We're talking about.
Yeah.
We're in sex crimes territory. That's different.
But do you think if he is in that, do you think Hillary knew about it? Do you think Hillary would know, or do you think he would hide it from her? Or it's just like so.
No, I don't think. I think it's more blackmail than like the way that Trump was like they were hanging out. That's different. Trump is like, let's go hang out. Let's like do.
Yeah.
I think it's more used for blackmail. I could see how it'd be used for blackmail. It worked because that name keeps coming up like it's a deterrent, and it keeps being treated like that, and it doesn't matter because he's not president. I would like to see what the whole thing was and what the circumstances were, because I really feel like it was entrapment. So I don't really necessarily know that I would like. It depends on how bad. It depends on. There's all the variables. I can't answer completely, but I can tell you based on like not knowing that this is where my head's at.
Yeah.
Right.
I just wish the files were released so that we could just see how the cookie crumbles.
Well, I'm down with that for sure. I'm also for like I want to take out people that are in power right now that have more involvement so that we can actually clean house. And then we need to restructure this government. This shit is bad.
It's so bad.
Whatever is going is bad. And if this is not a case to support women to run for office, I don't know what it is, dude. Like, for real.
I know.
For real. Like,
women should run.
No, please contact me. I will help you. I will help connect you to the right people.
Katie Porter is running for California governor, everybody.
Yeah. I donate to her.
Yeah, please support her. I would love to see her running the state. We all know how I feel about Newsom.
Oh, look how cute you are, thinking it's like before. How cute it is.
Look how cute. I mean, I love his social media. That is entertaining, but it's also run by a woman.
I know.
So,
a Latina woman. So, behind every
is
great
it
man
really him?
is a woman. It is a woman.
It is a woman. That's right. Well, you want to wrap that up for today?
Are we the only ones that recognize that women should really be put in charge now? Because we need to be there to advocate for each other in government.
Yes.
And obviously, we can't leave it up to the men because they have failed us so many times. So
they had 200 years, y'all.
I think it's time that we at least advocate for mixed tickets from now on. Like, there has to be mixed ticket, at the very least, mixed ticket. I think there's something to say about that.
Gender.
Ranked choice voting.
Yes.
Cynthia Terrell is the woman behind ranked choice voting. Shout out to Cynthia Terrell.
That's the one where like the
you can pick like 3,
and then like the least popular always falls off.
Yeah, so that you're not just like one or the other.
I think they do that in Ireland. My mother-in-law was telling me about that because she was like, "We need to bring
this
that
is a global."
Here.
She's Cynthia actually like goes around like the world advocates.
Yeah.
This is her project. So she actually helped me prepare for my Google meeting when I was trying to advocate for them to change their research.
told me about that like a while ago.
Yeah.
After Trump won his first term, and she was like, "This is why we need to do it like they do in Ireland."
Yeah, that was crazy though. Like when I had to go to Google, or I didn't have to, but when I chose to Google and like advocate for like, can you help us be able to plug in your zip code, address, and then figure out what office you can run, and then like what it would entail, how much you would pay, all that stuff. And it was like not like that, and like how far we've come now that like, but that was even gate kept, and we were already like 15 years into technology, like websites and everything like that. I was like, what do you mean we don't have that? Like you have to write into the city hall and get a freaking folder with like paper?
No.
Like paper.
It
Like real paper?
Be on the internet.
I was like, that's crazy.
We should be able to type it in.
So now, after going to advocate, and they didn't believe, they're like, I don't really feel like there's a lot of people that would use that. I was like, are you kidding? It was so crazy. I was just like, I remember just being like, don't look at me as just one person. Look at me like I'm one person with 40,000 people behind me in line saying like, yo, you need to do this shit. And then it was like a little bit more effective. And then it worked out because there was, I remember what happened. At the end of the year, Google always has in their marketing department the most searched, Google most searched end of the year. And they used to like put it on a video.
And that popped up on there, didn't it?
Yo, in the climax of that freaking video, dun dun dun, run for office, or something like that. It was like how to run for office was the most searched thing, and then it was climax of the video. And I go, ha! How serendipitous. Even your own.
Yeah, I remember when I...
And they're like, okay, yeah,
when I was really, really politically active in Columbus, Ohio, I bought the book Run for Something because I was like, I'm going to run for something local. I'm going to make a change. I can't take this shit. Because our city council is pretty progressive, but also I feel like they're fucking corrupt and it's all about money.
Well, there's a specific corrupt person on there. And it's also about race.
Yeah.
She
I
just
meant
like
in
it's
Columbus.
Very...
Columbus.
Well, I mean,
I
you know
meant
what?
Columbus.
How funny you can copy and paste that same problem.
I know, because you know what? There's shitbags everywhere.
Dude, I saw some crazy stories about some crazy sheriff that was like literally using their jail as a brothel and like making it so that if you're a woman, you had to like, they literally would have like on Friday night people. Yeah. And they just, that guy got shot. But it was a judge and he got shot with the sheriff.
Yeah,
and I was like, what? Like, and
wait, so it was the sheriff who made it the brothel, or was it the judge?
The judge made it the brothel, and the sheriff went.
And then the sheriff found out.
And the sheriff handled it. It was crazy. I was like, I can't believe. Just justice and morality and everything is just really tough, you know. Because I try to be very. I so believe in the end, things will turn out as, like. I didn't get perfect justice, like, you know, but I got justice. So, like, you know, so I'm like, all right, like, my situation, I'm just going to reiterate for people that didn't know, because I got a feedback that there's a context that I was missing, which is totally fair. So when I was in Japan, I was sexually assaulted by a higher ranking officer than my husband, who was also, I was friends with his wife. So technically in the military, you're not supposed to be like fraternizing when you're different ranks. Mm-hmm. But the wives technically can hang out. So then this was the gray area, but now I realize like this is why they have these rules. So he was inappropriate in terms of like trying to get, my husband was gone on deployment to Mount Fuji, which is like 6 hours away at the time. And he ends up like
trying to like blackmail you, right?
He basically, we just had like a weird conversation about, you know, when someone's trying to have like a sex conversation with you to like seem like they're like your therapist. And I was like,
what do you need help with?
Oh, because so
weird.
Exactly, because while I was explaining that, my husband and I like were both I was my husband's first kiss, so it's not like we're like freaky crazy people. So then that opened up him trying to like create some conversation about that. Next thing you know, he invites me back to he goes, come back here to the bedroom, but I don't know that's like what's gonna happen, because I've been to this house, they have children, and I'm like the auntie, my husband's like the uncle, and we're like by this time like hanging out watching Grey's Anatomy, like every time, like doing like normal things, having dinner with him. So, he comes, I go back there, he goes, I'm gonna show you something. I go, what? And I go back and he's like, bottomless. And I was like, what? And I turn around and I run out. I'm like, no. And he's like, I'm so sorry. I just thought like, I don't know what. I was like, what is he, I don't know what. Like, what are you talking about? So, I basically like totally trying to like, it's called fawning, which is when you try to be cool and be not freaked out and not cause the person to panic so they won't like attack you. So it seems to them, they can sometimes, like in the past, they've argued it was consent. In my case, they realized that was not consent, because I was like, I made sure I said, I even remember the Kenyans, I was like, no, like I remember that was my cadence, and I kept saying no, this is my cadence, because I wanted to be very clear. It was like no, like no, like
I said no.
No. Like I will never forget that cadence. And so then like fast forward like 6 weeks later, we go to Thanksgiving. We want to go to Tokyo Disney, because we're homesick for Disney. So my husband and I were like, let's go to Tokyo Disney. And they decide, that's like a great trip. And he goes on the trip with his family, like books it, and then we go together. And I'm like, I don't have to go on the trip.
You're like, damn it, now he's going.
And then he was.
You hadn't told Eric about that?
No.
Oh shit. So then
no, this is the weekend why I'm telling her. Like, he has no idea. He would never go. Yeah, we never. So okay. So then that particular person, he was a fighter pilot, and he was like an instructor at like Top Gun. So he was flying that day, and then when that happens, what happens to pilots is they get really fucking cranky because their blood rushes through the head. And they have to take all kinds. Sometimes they take a lot of meth. It's like all kinds of weird shit that they do. They take uppers and downers to stay up, and sometimes that fucks up with their system. They get like really angry or whatever, and then they fly in their blood or whatever. So I remember it was like, we were at Tokyo Disney, and like there was the electrical parade, and he was nostalgic for it and wanted to go, and his daughter like did not give a fuck and did not want to go. And I tried to plead with him, oh, he really wants you to go. And he turns to me and goes, you stay out of this, and like fucking flipped out at me. And I was like, whoa. And it made me realize like he thought he had ownership over me. There was like this thing where I realized, oh my God, this guy thinks he like controls me. I was like, ugh. So then the next day I told her, I'm like, I don't want to hang out with him tomorrow because I just didn't like, and even the wife was like, I don't know what that was. I'm so sorry. Like, I go, yeah, I just think I need a break from you guys tomorrow. And she was like, oh, she felt so bad. But he knew.
He knew what was up.
Fuck, I just fucked that up because when he did it last time, I had seen him a couple times after, and I just tried to like avoid him. I tried to go to one. He tried to get me. He's like, I feel so bad that I did that, but I feel like I can't trust you.
Yourself.
So because he had at the house at his house at their on base housing, he had exposed himself to me, and then basically was like, I need to finish. Like, and I'm like, I'm not touching him. So that was how it was like a Louis C.K. situation, right? Where it's like he's like not touching me, but like I had to get his rocks off or whatever. So then later he's like, I feel like I need something from you. So I have something, So then he's like, I need like underwear from you. I'm like, there's no one giving you. I need a picture of you in the field naked. I'm like, I don't have that.
From you?
Yeah. To make me feel like, oh no, the blackmail wasn't because of that. The blackmail was because he told me top secret information he should know from his time as a flight instructor. Definitely shit that was confirmed. Like when he told me, NCIS was not fucking happy about that. And I was very good about going like, I need to talk to military people. I need someone with like high enough security clearance to tell the story because I can't just tell anybody because it's like, this is like serious. So that also was like on my side, like, dude, she even could keep a secret and you're fucking ass using it to blackmail. Like, dude, nasty shit, you're a piece of shit.
Just to ejaculate.
Like, what a fucking loser. So, I ended up like, this is the crazy thing was just the fact that he ends up getting hazard pay, like in separation, family separation pay, right? So then, what's justice? I wanted the family to have money. I even advocated that I wanted her to get money. Yeah, but that doesn't how it works. That's not how it works in the military. It goes through the husband. So she has to stay with him to get the money. Aww. So she did. We ended our friendship at the military police office that day. I thought she was gonna. I was like, I'll help you pack. She's like, I'm not moving. I'm not leaving him. I was like, you're not? She's like, we've been together for 9 years. You have kids together. Like, no. I was like, oh my God. And that's when I also, as much as I've known about my mom being trapped in like a financial, even though she earned, right? This is like, she actually, a lot of military wives have to relinquish all economic security. So they have no job, whatever. Mm-hmm. When you're in that situation, then you're like away for 3 years and they pay for anything, but you're connected, you can't get any. Real conversations are had between wives during coffees while their husbands are at work and like, what would you do? I forgot that she had said, like, I don't want to know. If he ever was doing that, I don't want to know. And so I thought, like, an affair is different than, like, this dude's a fucking creep. Like, he's a fucking piece of shit. Like, you should know this is, like, But I also am a privileged person that I have my own brain that I can, like, use. I can come up with things to, like, earn money if I had to. Not everybody's like that or can do that. And so do I recognize, like, that's hard? Yeah, I do. I do understand that. So I do understand, like, how hard it is for women when they give up their economic security to support a man or spouse, and that they literally are now, you're just hoping to God
so vulnerable.
You pick the right person that won't do you wrong and put you in a situation in which you have to like live and justify all kinds of like crazy bullshit to live this life. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Because you know the mental gymnastics you have to do to like sit through all that, and then for 2 years I still had to be on that base. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Like it was all kinds of, there's all kinds of crazy shit that I had to like, there was like.
Did they have to move?
Yeah, I remember like, he tried to flee. I remember always driving off the base in his car was like all like in a flee, but like trying to, because he knew he was like in big fucking trouble. He tried to bribe me to not say anything. He offered me a lot of money not to say anything, but I just have too much integrity. Just can't do that. So I also didn't want it not on record that this dude is a fucking creep. And like he was in a high power position. Like you should know.
Yeah.
This person is like in your fucking, you know. And so there was like just weird moments like that where you realize like, okay. And I remember feeling how hard it was to survive through that. That was difficult. Because I lost a lot of friends. Because like the way that the military does it is they send that police report goes to every single officer on the base. Like, that's a commanding officer. And that particular person was at commanding officer level. So then everybody that was, because the rank, you have to hang out with your rank. They were all friends. So now every commanding officer of every unit knew what happened. And it was all based on whether they trusted my reputation against the person. But nobody's allowed to talk to me. That colonel was dope. The colonel, to this day, is like, I owe him everything in terms of protecting me, because he did right by me. But I was also very lucky because when I arrived on the base, there was a marriage retreat that they needed to fill. And so they asked us, the people ran out, they're like, would you and Eric like to go on this marriage retreat? Because you're here, it's free, we'll pay for it, it's a weekend, and it's a Japanese hotel, it's beautiful, you get to bond with each other, and it's like part of the chapel thing, and all that. I'm like, okay, got nothing better to do. Who do I get seated next to? Colonel of the base. I didn't know he was a colonel, and we just get along. And then, so when this happens, he also remembers me, he knows me like on a personal level. He's like, I'm gonna protect her. But he was also like, what the is going on? Like, what the hell, right? Like, what? Because they also look like, are you a troublemaker? And it's like, dude, I swear to God, I'm literally like, I'm just trying to support my husband. If I could go back to America and go back to my fashion design job on the red carpet, that would be amazing. Instead of coming out here and dealing with this bullshit.
Yeah.
Like, I gave up so much. Bro, I gave up so fucking much to do that and to have that happen to me in a place I thought would be the safest country. Japan is so fucking safe. If I lived off base and I mean, I did live off base, but it would have never happened off base.
Yeah.
The fact that it happened on base, unsupported my country.
Like U.S. soil on the base.
Such a betrayal of like, but that's why I felt like, it's one of those things where you just reconcile what justice is at that time for you. It's better than what it could have been, which is nothing. How hard would that have been to have nothing? To go that's what these ladies have.
I went to group therapy, and I had girls who literally, I think I mentioned it on a previous episode, there was one girl who he got fucking community service because he was like 60 something years old, and the judge said, well, he's not physically fit to be put into prison. And I remember thinking like, how the fuck does that matter?
I think what would
you go to prison because you did a crime? It doesn't matter what shape you're in. I
think that for closing arguments or closing statements, I think the prosecutors need to say on record that, like, I don't know how this, I'm gonna just mix it up, right? But like if it pleases the court, the people would like to ask that you do not empathize with the pedophile,
but with the victim
in your sentencing. Mm-hmm. If you don't say that, it's easy like, I feel bad. I'm like, if you empathize with it, but you say it before, it puts them in a situation where they're like, I feel like he's too old to go fuck anybody else that's 5. Like, are you fucking kidding me?
Right.
That's the level of justice.
So that's why, like, my outlook on the justice system, like with your circumstance is different because you were connected to his wife and the kids. Like you were thinking about them.
Oh yeah, and that messed me up too.
Yeah,
it did.
And but I just had, I think there was like 7 or 8 of us in this group therapy session, and it was just like, this was before I went to court, and I remember my mom was doing this to be helpful.
But this is not helpful before court. Because it just makes you think like nothing's going to happen for you.
Worse.
Yeah.
It made it so
I could totally see that.
much worse because I sat there and I
just heard horror
stories and like, and
failure after failure. Yeah.
And I mean, mind you, I was 15 years old and these girls, their ages were 13 to 15, I think. So it's not like I was, I don't know, in my 20s or whatever. I mean, because I was raped from the time I was like 4 or 5 up until the time that I was 14. So it was. And
then you see it happening in your community because it's like all these all happening in this community. Right?
Well,
so you're just like, on one hand, you're glad you're not alone
Yeah.
in this group therapy. But at the same time, you're like, this is really pervasive.
Like, how bad is it that pedophilia is, like, rampant to the fact that there's, like, group therapy classes? Like, hey,
Exactly.
group therapy for being raped by a pedophile.
Exactly.
Wow.
Like
and just hearing their stories and their outcomes, I was like, fuck.
like, what's gonna happen to me? What's gonna happen with
Mm-hmm.
this? Is it worth it?
And the mayor
Oh.
actually wrote a letter on behalf
Of the dude?
Yes.
Okay. That right there.
A good character letter.
That right there
Mm-hmm.
is the thing that's basically this Epstein situation.
Yeah.
Right? So you know what it feels like to have the government back the pedophile.
Mm-hmm.
And you're like, you gotta be fucking kidding me. And then you're just like, what does this even mean about like right and wrong?
Yeah.
Because for me, that situation for me in Japan was definitely like, because I had been very, I'm gonna be honest with you, I am a recovering misogynist, okay? I'm gonna keep it really real. I used to hold up the patriarchy. Not like, I wasn't like a evil person that would like do horrible things to women. But like, I drank the Kool-Aid and was like, yeah, you know, you need to be more responsible, blah, blah, blah. Like, I did believe in that. So then when I went through that situation, and I was like, I did not do anything wrong at all. And then everybody like believed me, and they're all men that was in the jury. It was unanimous, all the officers
From
unanimous.
the time that you told them to the time that you went to court, how long was it?
I think it was a year.
See, I told before I went to my freshman year.
Okay.
And then I finished my senior year.
Oh, that's 4 years. It's a long time. Your entire high school.
Mm-hmm.
So high school is traumatizing for you.
So traumatizing.
And like, did you feel, okay, so for you, I would assume the same is what happened to me, which is like, that was when I stopped being, honestly, the veil of the patriarchy and that men will do right by us. That if we follow the patriarchal rules, that like, just like if you work hard, you're gonna be successful. If you follow the patriarchal rules, that they will stand by you. If you didn't do anything wrong, that they would stand by you. That was so unanimous that the guy was wrong. It was so like on every level, like top secret information, giving him classified, like disgusting, just the lowest, nastiest behavior to like jeopardize like national security over it, like crazy. Yeah, it was for me the veil that they didn't even nail him for that, and then subsequently seeing like everybody talk about Hillary Clinton and the emails and everything, I realized like the veil for me of like, oh, this is just a fucking lie. So that's why, even though you're really optimistic still, and you're more cautious than me, my veil is gone. Like that's why I support women so much. That's why I believe women so much, because I'm like, no, I've seen it. I know like you can be totally right, and they still won't hold that person accountable the way that they need to be held accountable. If they won't do it.
I mean, they don't, unfortunately.
So then there's no real rule of law in the way that we're told, so that we live in it.
Yeah, so you conform.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So we believe it's like this strict, like great, honorable thing. Then we find out it's like, really, that's just, it's an outline. It's not even like a guide. It's not even like a handbook. It's like an outline.
Yeah.
With like, choose your own adventure, depending on what socioeconomic status and gender and race.
Yeah, I think that had a part to play with it too. I mean, my detective, she was a woman. Her name was Melinda Hunt. She was a cunt. And, like, was not believed. My court case took 4 years. When they arrested him, my mother told her, like, hey, I want to be informed if he makes bail, like because I want to know if he's out, because he could come, he knows where we live. They didn't tell us. We actually found out like through the grapevine. And then he kept saying that he was going to take a lie detector test, even though like that's neither here nor there. He just kept saying that he had health issues and couldn't take it and put it off. So finally, I think I got to the point where I was like, I am so fucking fed up. What can I do? Like, why am I approaching the police? Why am I approaching my detective saying, what can I do to push this along? Because this is literally being held over my head for years. Can we just fucking get on with it? And they're like, oh yeah, if you take a lie detector test, that would help us. And then that way it would just omit the fact that he needs to take one.
I remember with my thing,
and I was like,
this is funny about the lie detector. I remember saying, they're like, do you have any questions, Ms. Wilson? And I was like, I do. I'm like, okay, go ahead. Because I'm on a speakerphone in Brooklyn, New York. in the middle of like 4 a.m. because they're in Japan and I'm in New York and they're in the court and I'm on speakerphone.
You're at home on speakerphone.
And I was like, I would like to request that he have to be subjected to a lie detector test. And I hear this rustling, and everybody's like, kind of like, like you hear just conversations, like it's like a little chaotic in there. Okay, well, how do you pose that as a question? So they have to form it into a question. The prosecutor poses a question and says that. And then his response is, he would submit to one only if she agrees also to submit to one. And then, so then they asked me, okay, how do we ask this question? And they do that. Ms. Wilson, would you also agree to submit to a lie detector test? And I said, absolutely, 100%. And they're like, oh, shit. So it was funny, these lie detector things. Like, I feel like as much as they try to say, oh, lie detector's not perfect, I'm like, there's something to be said about somebody who's like, let's fucking do this.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, because I passed mine.
Of course.
And then one of my best friends who went to that same sitter, she came forward with me, and then she took one and she passed. And after we both passed, he pled guilty. He just put in a guilty plea, so he could get a deal. Yeah. Oh, I got a deal. Damn. Mm-hmm. Why would you need to get a plea deal when you have the guilty, like the two? That's so crazy. Well, I will say this: that justice hopefully will grind in the right direction in this situation. It is more public and more. The fact that they hid it the first time and they've been hiding it, and now they're not hiding it is something. Yeah. For us to be like, okay, it's going the right direction. I think we can't okay the gaslighting coming from the Republican Party trying to like say this is a lie or this is this. Yeah. Because they've been doing that left, right, and center. Pam Bondi with the video footage, Mike Johnson. I saw what Caroline Leavitt kind of had a little bit of a meltdown on a press conference because she got called out on some of the lies. She said, I'm not even saying misinformation anymore. Okay, this is the funny thing about, I know, I don't like that word. Yep. I like lies. So what happened was Caroline Leavitt was asked about so you don't believe that this is I thought you called the Epstein files hoax, because she was talking about it. Yeah. She goes, I didn't say the Epstein files were a hoax. I said that the Democrats caring about the Epstein files is a hoax. So then I was like, oh, so then the Epstein files are not a hoax. Thank you for clarifying, right? So that was the thing she had a meltdown over. Yeah, I keep very abreast of the information.
But Trump just keeps saying, it's a hoax, it's a Democratic hoax.
Well, that's not what Trump is saying. You guys need to get on the same page and promote like a unified front. So, actually, a really good movie was the one, Sebastian Stan playing Donald Trump. There's a movie. Oh, yeah. That's actually pretty good. I haven't seen it. It tells you a lot about, like, really, there is some poignant stuff about, like, Cohen, the lawyer that was, like, really, that masterminds his, like, entire infrastructure of how he thinks. Like, if you are getting attacked, you blame, it's the not me, you attack. So that's why he always says, like, you're doing it. You tell people, you're accusing people of things that you've done. So that you just keeps them off the scent of you. And so, like, you know, there's also this Marla Maples story where he had talked to Michael Wolff, the biographer of Jeffrey Epstein. And I think and Donald Trump, actually. He had talked to them and they were saying how, like, oh my God, breaking news. So it looks Charlie Kirk was just shot at an event. And it's been hospitalized. Oh shit. At a university in Utah. You guys, I'm gonna say right now that gun control, I hope that the gun control conversation, like, because nobody deserves to get shot at an event. No. I don't care what, like, he has a right to free speech. No. Like, that's not right. Right or left, whatever. But a bullet is a bullet, and it doesn't care if you're a Republican or a Democrat, or a child, or... Thoughts and prayers to his family. Yeah. And that's devastating. More to report. We'll probably, like, sign off from here, and then we'll catch up. We're at like 2 hours already. Yeah. All right. So we'll give you more updates on this. We're gonna talk about this, and then all right, you guys. Let's end on this note. Are we the only ones that think that it's not really? This is a time to move forward, and it's not really a time for violence anymore. We're done with the violence, and hopefully this will turn around, and that we're all here, honestly, to move forward together and create a better America together. Okay, where we, like, all thrive together and not divided. Yeah. Stand united. Give us a follow on Instagram at Are We The Only Ones Pod. Same with our Substack, arewetheonlyonesepod.com. Please rate and
subscribe.
review
Subscribe.
Oh yes, subscribe. Oh shit, sorry.
Or rate on
Rate and then leave us a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you're listening. I think we're on all podcasts.